up? This is another Chillin with Puermero. This time, chilling with me is my good friend Brian, aka Bear Moto. Probably gonna have a few of his links in the description below. And with that being said, let's get on with the podcast.
The Apple logo. Obviously, everybody knows the box looks like. I'm like, there's no way. Whatever. So I parked the bike, pulled to my house. I looked across the street. I'm like, nobody's coming. I'm gonna go look at this thing real quick. And I'm expecting to pick up an empty box. Nope. It is an Apple iPhone 11, the 64 gig. So it's not a very big space size, but it's an unlocked phone. I'm like,
wow.
And the box is all scratched up because obviously it looked like it maybe fell out or it hit the ground and rolled or something like that because all the corners are all dinged up. The box is all screwed up. And I'm like, waiting to see if somebody's coming down the street. I'm like, am I coming? Am I coming? Like, all right, I'll just grab it real quick and I'll walk away. Nobody came back. I'm like, sweet. But the thing is, the iOS system works better with the drones. So I don't know how, but it just does.
Oh,
I've used I have a Samsung Note 20, and I get great quality, but they said the pairing together is faster, which I don't know any of that. I'm tech retarded. I'm like, I play with the stuff, but when you get into the blood and guts and how it works, it's like speaking Chinese. I'm like, huh? What? So it doesn't work for me.
That's funny shit. Yeah, there's certain things I don't fucking. I was like, all right, if it just works, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
So how you doing, man? How you been feeling lately? Everything's been good. Everything's.
Honestly, dude, things have been like stressful as hell. Like my dad just came back late last year, back in early part of November. No one even get into that subject, but just trying to take care of him. He's a diabetic amputee. Oh, so it's like trying to take care of him is like stressful. I was like, fuck. So, I mean, and then working this new job, the new job's going well. I finally left Target. I was done with that.
When COVID hit, what do you got going? What are you doing again?
So I work for a company called Accuform. So they're a lockout, tagout safety company. They make like all the signs. And we have a lot, actually, if at university, you've probably seen them. They're just like, danger, warning, big, 10 by 14 or the big 20 by 18 signs that you see around that's giving people warning, hey, don't touch this area, don't smoke in this area. Pretty much. Right. If OSHA said there needs to be a sign here, we make the sign and we sell it.
Very nice.
That's pretty much what we do. But we make a lot of other stuff too. Like we make there's a whole different. I mean, I can tell you. I mean, we're owned by a company called Just Right.
I mean, considering how many stupid people are, I mean, you'll be making more signs that don't exist.
Dude, you have no idea. And we do custom signs too. Like we make street signs. We make the street signs that say the names, the stop signs. We make all that kind of stuff. We make custom signs. My favorite one is first shot's a warning. Second shot, you're my target.
There you go.
I was like, I want this. How do I get this?
That sounds really interesting. So that sparks my interest. Where would I be able to, let's say, what are the limitations? Like, can someone like me come and get one sign, or is this more for like a company towards another company?
So we have contracts with larger companies, so we sell those in bulk, like Granger, Amazon. Like we sell their signs in bulk because they have warehouses, they require signs, but we do custom signs too. Oh, okay. So we have a guy who comes in and buys like 3 or 4 where it says speed limit 2. He's a biker. Speed limit 200 miles an hour. He just hangs those in like his garage or hangs them in his bar. Okay. We have the most random shit you can see on there. We had a memorial. Somebody there was a memorial done for I don't know any of the rest of the people. I just know there's a photo. It was a black family, and the grandmother had passed away. So they actually asked us to implant the grandmother like in the top corner, and like the heavenly shot. So we did that and we printed it out and we sent it out.
Okay.
So there's like a bunch of different things we can do. Like you have to talk to the art department, but there's unlimited things we do. We make decals, we make stickers, we make all that.
All right. So if I finally, because eventually I got to get with. I'm thinking about getting with a couple of artists. I already got one from Instagram, one from Facebook, and I forgot the other one I was looking at. So I'm going to try to see if I can get some sample art to see if they can, maybe we can brainstorm and make a legitimate logo for me. That way I can have, hopefully down the road, some merch.
So I'm right now, I'm in a big cigar club, Ashholes.
That's a great name.
Oh, dude.
That's fantastic.
I'll hold it up to the screen real quick. I got it back here.
Assholes.
So
okay, there you go.
So
All right.
it's called the Ashholes. They're worldwide. They're around the entire world. You've got Germany, Indonesia. We actually have a Ukraine branch, but unfortunately things going on there. We haven't seen or heard much from that chapter.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We've got ones in Moscow. They're worldwide.
Right.
And all it is they talk about cigars. They smoke cigars. They take photos with their patches. They do different things with their patch to just kind of become like a club of the month or member of the month or member of the year. Then we have a worldwide, where it's Ashhole Cigar Club worldwide, where it's a big Discord where we just talk, we sell, we trade. People are in search of a cigar that I can't find in Abu Dhabi. I'll be like, hey, if there's a cigar here you want, I'll ship it to you, but you send me that cigar, we'll do an even swap.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
We'll do that. So, it's an amazing club. I'm actually on the cabinet for the Florida chapter because we just redid the entire Florida chapter because the previous president, well, let's just say, when CEOs do bad things, our CEO did bad things.
Oh, shit.
So, taking money. We don't have fees. We don't have that kind of stuff. And he was taking fees from members or something like that. But
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I wasn't even in. I was in the cigar world, but I wasn't in the cigar world like that.
Right.
And I finally found the club. I'm a friend with another president from California, and then just kind of rolled from there.
Okay.
So we meet up at like different cigar shops around the state of Florida. We did the last one in Tampa. We actually have a church. I think it was an old Presbyterian or maybe an old Catholic church from way, way back in the day. It's been closed for 30 plus years. This lady bought it and turned it into a cigar shop. It's called Grand Cathedral. It is an amazing cigar shop. You go inside, it's got all the old woodworking. It's got the old stained glass windows. It's got the water fountain out in the yard. Dude, it is. Look it up online. It's absolutely amazing. You got 3 floors. They added the floors, like where the altar used to be is a balcony where you can smoke.
I know it's called what again? Say it again.
It's called Grand Cathedral Cigars.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, if anybody want to hit that up, there you
go.
Hells yeah. Hey, I got the shits. No.
Bro, it happens. You can't control that. It happens when it happens.
Yeah, nature's very brutal that way.
I was actually listening to a cigar podcast. So I listen to a couple cigar podcasts on Spotify. And there's actually one that's like, well, we'll be right back. We're going to cut this segment short because I got to take a big old dump. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard that in a podcast before. Like I've heard, hey, look, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. And then you hear like the typical advertisements for that company or whatever it is they're sponsoring.
Right.
He's like, nope, I got to take a dump. I'll be right back. I was like, and then it kills the commercial. I'm like, that is an epic way of saying we'll be right back.
That is fantastic.
And then I think he said he broke it up pretty fast. He's like, I was gone for like 25, 30 minutes. And he started talking about some game he was playing. I don't know what it was. I was like, yeah, that's a typical guy. You go to the bathroom, take a crap, and then all of a sudden you're playing a video game on your phone because that's what takes up all your time. And then you go to stand up and you fall over because your legs are falling asleep. I don't speak from experience. I don't.
Luckily, I don't. Like, I do sit, but I still get my ass up every once in a while because I know damn well I don't need to be fucking having my legs fall asleep on me or anything.
Let me tell you something. There's this game called Royal Match. It's a game on your phone. And I sit here and I will play this thing while I'm on there, and I'll forget that I'm done pooping, and I'm like, I'll be out of lives, and I'm like, oh wait, what was I doing? I'm like, oh, I was pooping. I'm like, I gotta go.
Oh my God.
My girlfriend's like, are you done playing your game? And I'm like, listen, don't start, okay? You go in there, and it's not my fault. You take like 2 seconds and you're done. Like, men's got to take time. All right,
well, sometimes that throne. Like my brother the last day, he's like, man, I do some of my best thinking in there. It's like, yeah, that tends to happen.
Dude, it's quiet. It is quiet in the bathroom. Well, not me right now because my window's facing the property that's being rebuilt. So all I hear is like, the concrete trucks and the dump trucks and the cement trucks and just everything.
Well, luckily there's no drilling sounds while your butthole's exposed. So
that would be it. That would be awkward.
That's not a good.
That would be weird.
So yeah, here we are. I'll probably do I'll probably make up a little intro thing. That way I can do a nice little legit intro for you. And
we do a dance.
I actually got new intro and outro like music that I'm actually allowed to use on fucking YouTube because that's been the struggles is making sure that I have everything I need and how I need it and what's allowed to be able to be played on fucking like it's one of
Dude,
those things. There's so many things on YouTube. I'm like, at least the cussing thing ain't a big deal. So it's like, okay, I got that. Then the music, like I finally found a program where they I guess they bring in all these different type of artists, like all these artists that have music. There's a portion of it would be like, oh, I forgot the number it said, but I think it was like I get maybe 5,000 roughly. Yeah, I think it's like 5,000 songs available to me as what I'm allowed to play on YouTube. Because there's a little button. It actually says YouTube Safe. I click it, boom, I'm good to go. It's called Pretzel Rock. So if anybody ever out there wants that, Pretzel Rock is the way to go.
I used a company called what was it called? I think it was called Ben Sound, Ben Sound.
Ben Sound.
Because I was like I said, when I was doing the drone work, I was making some videos for like some obstacle course racing companies, and
right.
obviously, music. You can find the perfect song for it, but then once you post it on Facebook and Instagram, take it down because it doesn't. I don't own it. I said actually I do own it. I paid for it. I went on the thing on back in the day, Apple Pay or Apple Music, and I bought it. I'm like, yes, so I do own it. But
but you don't own the rights to be able to distribute it or use it towards any content. That's like I've been in and out so far. Like I did a test drive on some other stuff too because there's certain things you can't just look at either. Like if I'm live streaming, but I couldn't find anything that described anything where gave me limitations of Facebook and stuff. So I did 2 streams so far of sitting down just philodaddling around with Facebook and looking at some shit and talking shit about shit. And everything went well. I didn't have any attacks of any kind or anything. I did 2 little short videos that I put up as reaction. And it was like, it got flagged for something, but it said, you're cool to use it. All we're going to do is throw an ad in there. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I won't get demonetized.
Facebook was doing that with my videos for a while. Like, I obviously, I go everywhere with my daughter, and so I'll take like videos and I'll post them on Facebook. So that when you click on the video, you watch the video, and then it scrolls to the next one on my account. And then you'll watch like 10 seconds, and all of a sudden there's a Facebook ad, and I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid for that. Why are you playing ads on my videos? Like, hello. No, but the other
it's the same thing with YouTube. I think it's either in the beginning or after the video. I don't know when they're going to place it, but they'll do the same thing.
I'll blow this up on the screen. I just found it. So this is there you go. You can read it. Ben Sound.
Ben Sound. Okay.
Yeah. So that's actually another one that I used. You can buy. There's a bunch of free ones on there. They have like Cineramic, Arcade, Electric. Groovy, relaxing world.
Right.
All different kinds of music. All different kind of music you can use for like your audio work. There's a few, not very many words in there. Just kind of like the upbeat tempo. Like bring the beat back. Blah, 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 blah,
and most of them are like instrumental and stuff like that.
Most of them are all instrumental, and they're actually pretty good instrumental. Like if you can sample the ones you can buy, so you can hear what they're like. And then if you want to buy it, you download it. It saves to wherever you're saving it, and then you can add it to your videos later. Like I said, I was doing drone work, and then immediately, Instagram, TikTok, what time we take, or Instagram, and Facebook were taking it down. Like, I don't own the rights. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I put it on there. I don't own the rights to this song.
Right.
So they'd mute out most of the video. So I had to go in, delete it, find another song that's not copyrighted in any way, and then go from there. Which I get, people don't want their music being used, but I'm like, at the same time, it's like when you tell me I post a photo on Instagram or I post a photo online, it's out there for everybody to use. Well, I can tell somebody that.
Yeah.
No, never mind.
You kind of could, but that takes money out of you to try to set that up. Well, that's like when I first did my research because I was trying to figure out what are the limitations and the differences between Twitch streaming and then YouTube streaming. And then Twitch is not as bad. Like I have a lot more options on Twitch. But the other difference between Twitch and YouTube is YouTube has a straight up system that is catching things on the fly. It will I put something and immediately it gives me a red flag like, yo, you might not want to play that. And then on Twitch, it's like you could play it, and then later on, if someone happens to know that you played a thing, then they put in a request to cease and desist or however they want to DMCA it they'll send it to Twitch, and then Twitch has to get a hold of me and take it off.
Hey,
Or
you did
mute
this,
it,
you didn't
whatever
have
the case may
permission.
be. On their case, they do like a muting process where if you're live, you're good. Once the video's done, and then you have like the video stored in their archive where you can go back to someone's channel, it'll have it muted. Now on YouTube, I actually had 2 videos where they had something, but they had a beta of a process where they can go in and instead of muting the portion of the video where you can't hear me talking or whatever the case, in this they say, hey, we can go in and attempt to mute the music only. So I attempted to do it, and then I replayed the video later on, and it came out pretty good. So their system, at least they have that option. And then
That's
other than that,
interesting.
like I
Yeah.
have one with a song from the band Disturbed, and they said, "Hey, you're good to use it. It's just this video won't be able to be seen in I think it was like 3 different countries, and that was it." And I was like, "Oh, okay,
Then you
whatever.
then
I'll
you
leave that alone. That's fine."
then you start getting into the politics of that gets
But yeah,
that
in
then it
this
starts getting
case, like last I remembering, Twitch had something they were trying to do, but the real issue with music is there's 3 separate licenses that they want you to have to be allowed to use music. And Twitch program that they were using to try to help people have music only had 2 of the 3, so they were half-assing it. So they took it down, and eventually you don't have it as an option. But I'm gonna eventually try to do that because my brother loves like this girl named Doja Cat and other music, and so eventually I would like to invest in the opportunity to have those songs available to us and be able to play them. I don't know how. I'm sure there's someone out there that you pay money, probably a monthly fee, and they have all the licensing rights to allow you to play what they have in their catalog, which would hopefully be like stuff he likes. Because then eventually I would like to play stuff I like. Because I love the band Disturbed, so I would love to have
I
them in my
grew up I
videos.
grew up Disturbed and Stain. Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
god, dude, that was
I had
music
some
back then. That was
Godsmack, some fucking. I mean, it's just like,
right.
but I can't play
Roll the
any of
windows down
them.
in my
Yeah.
Camaro and listen to that as I'm like going way over the speed limit.
Like what's one of the ones that are really picky is that fucking Metallica. That's the one you gotta really watch out for.
I don't even yeah.
I only like
Metallica and
maybe 3 of their songs, really, to be honest.
Metallica and U2. Like the
U2 is meh. I never cared for them too much.
even Kiss. Like I listen to a lot of old like 70s, 80s, 90s. Like the music genre between the 70s and 90s is probably like one of my favorites. Like there's some
Oh
stuff in
yeah.
the early 2000s
Oh yeah.
today. No, that's not bad, but it's like I can only listen to like 1 or 2 times and I'm like, I'm done with this.
Yeah, I'm
But you
very
can't stop.
selective.
I can
Yeah.
sit here and like I can listen to Led Zeppelin the same album all day long. I'm sure like I've listened to some Doja Cat because
Yep.
we have a girl at work that listens to radio, and I think I probably heard her songs. There's a few songs I'm like, yeah, don't play that ever again.
Yeah, some of
Don't
them
ever
are
play that
like,
again.
okay, that's cute, I
Yeah.
guess.
I'm like,
And
I
that's
don't know
it.
if you guys realize, but some of your songs are based off some of the history of the songs that I listen to. No, it's not. I'm like,
Yeah, actually, there's a majority of them. Yeah, I
yeah,
was just listening to one where he was playing it, and I'm like, hey, I know that melody. And I was like, pause
see,
that for
yep,
a second. And I came over, listen to this, and he's like, oh shit. And I'm like, yeah, see that song right there? That's from the
yep.
70s.
But these kids today, like, oh, I never heard that, so no, it doesn't count. I'm like, yeah, actually, it does count because that's where your people get their music from. It's from people in the past. There's no original creativity out there.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's
there
so
is.
much been
There's
there,
some.
done that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some original creativity out there, but everything comes off of another beat that was created like 30, 40 years ago. Like, oh yeah, well they never heard this song, so I'll make another song out of this beat. I'm like, yeah, the only problem is the people that from that genre are still here. We still know that
That's
song.
true.
So
Yeah, that's
nice try.
very true. Yeah. I mean,
So
some
we
of the
have to
cases
educate.
too, like I think one of the way they're allowed to use some of the samples and some of the beats and whatnot, my assumption is that the record label that they're with happens to be the record
Owns.
label that owns it. So that's
Yeah,
why they're allowed
that's
to
what it
do
comes
that.
down to. That's
And
like when
most
Will
of the
Smith
time,
came
I
out with Wild
mean,
Wild West.
some people do a good job. Don't get me wrong. Like I was just
Oh yeah.
telling him, hey, you hear that song you're playing right now? Watch this. And it was like this one song that Will Smith took to then do the Men in Black.
Hmm.
Like he was like, wow, okay. And I'm like, see, that's the
Yep.
thing. Like a lot of people, they'll either take the entire beat and just put like their own verbal
Their lyrics on it. Yep.
spew. Sometimes it's spew because I'm like, what the fuck is he saying? But other times it's like just a portion of a song is like this other thing, and I'll hear it and I'll catch it, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know where that's from, and I'll pull up the song.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll be listening. I'm like, I'll hear the faint beat in the background. I think what's her name, Cardi B did something up. I'm like, I know that song from. I know that beat from somewhere. I'm like, that's an old Tupac. No, it was a Biggie. I think it was a Biggie song.
Actually, there was one where someone had something from Pac, and so when the song was starting, they thought it was Pac, but it was someone else. But someone else was like, no, that's not Pac. It's actually, and then they dropped an older song that Pac took that to. So you got 3 generations of shit right here using the same instrumental. It's like, oh boy, here we go.
Yep. It's just, I don't know, man. It's like, as far as music goes to me, I'm like, I can enjoy some of the stuff that comes out today, but like some of the stuff, I'm just like, it doesn't work. I don't know, maybe it's just because of my age and I'm used to that song, that era of music. But for me, this doesn't work personally.
That's like that type of flavor, that thing that catches your ear. I mean, not everything's gonna. Yeah, there's been plenty of things I'm like, I don't care for that. I really don't. Yeah. But like then there's those times I get old school. I was just playing some like bossa nova fucking like background type music where it's the violin and it's stuff and the piano and it's just beautiful fucking music from Barcelona. Dude, and I just put it, and that was
Rat Pack. I've got the Rat Pack on. I got a huge Spotify playlist of nothing but Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra. I mean, you name it. I've got probably about 200 or 300 songs. I'm just going over the time. That's stuff that I listed at.
That's beautiful shit, isn't it? Like that. Actually, one of the songs from Frank was used in a video game called Bayonetta that my brother likes, and he loves the character and stuff like that. And I'm hearing the music, and I'm like, dude, that's Frank Sinatra. It's the one, "Fly Me to the Moon."
Oh, that's one of the most popular ones. That's actually my favorite.
It was like just a little more peppier on the speed of the instrumental, and then it was like a female voice singing it. And I was like, oh, this is beautiful. Like, it sounded nice. Don't get me wrong. The way they made it fit into the game and stuff like that. Like, he loves the song. So I got him hooked where he was listening to Frank Sinatra, and then a couple of other variations of other individuals who sung it. And they're all, so far, every single one of them have been very beautiful. So it's like, I can't say anything bad from that.
As long as they use the song right and they don't try to do some kind of like weird techno rock headbanging metal beat.
That's like, I like metal, but sometimes when someone does like a metal cover of something, doesn't really play out that well.
I'm like, if you want to take songs from the past and do a metal cover, do something from Nickelback. I don't know.
Yeah, that's like what was it? I had like almost a month straight of playing just disco in the truck while I'm driving to work because it takes me almost an hour to get to work. So I just put some old school funk, old school disco, and it's just
we are the funk.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's not.
That was on there. Don't get me wrong. That was on there.
We are the funk. You gotta have that fun, dude. That's the jam. Look, so at work we actually have the intercom system. They play like the what's it called the satellite Sirius.
Oh, okay.
And they'll play a lot of that throughout most of the day. Like day shift, there's a lot of older people there, like in their 50s and 60s. So you hear stuff like that, and they're like, "How do you know that song?" I'm like, "Do you not realize I'm almost 40? I know songs. Like I have albums and albums and albums."
Well, sir,
of these songs.
I'm not trying to kiss your ass here, but you don't look 40, okay? You look like about what? Early 30s, the oldest. So.
Dude, I'm 39 in just under 2 months. Oh, Jesus.
I'll be 38 this August.
Yeah,
but I look like an old fuck, so everybody.
You look like a handsome Mr. Clean.
Fuck that.
With a little spice
Mr. Clean,
on it.
that was one of the characters. Somebody called me Mr. Clean. There was also somebody who called me what's the character from fucking Addams Family?
Lurch?
No, the guy that Christopher Lloyd played.
Oh, shit.
Fuck, I'm forgetting his name already.
It's right here. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, he had his head kind of smunched down.
God
but you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, somebody was calling me that, and I'm like, hey, I wouldn't mind doing that for fucking Halloween or something like that. But I was like, fuck, man. I've had people call me, think I'm older, way older than what I was just talking to a girl. We were talking about age, and Joey was there. You remember Joey from Universal, and he was hanging out.
Yeah, I
We were
still talk
talking
to him
about
now, yeah.
age, and we were throwing out how like this one girl's like she's going to be 36, and I'm like, what? Really? You get out of here! I thought you were like 20 something, whatever. And I was like, what about me? And she's like, thinking I'm already in my 40s. I'm like, well, I'm getting there. But I'm like, fuck. I remember a girl way back when I was 21. She tried to call me. She tried to say that I was like 38 at the time. And I'm like, I'm 21. What the fuck?
I got called old when I was like in my 30s. I'm like, what? I'm only 30. Like, how am I old? Like, I'll beat the shit out of you. I'll beat your dad's ass.
Well,
too,
there's
for
some
saying that.
youngins nowadays. They think 30s is when you're getting old, anyways.
Bro,
They have no idea.
I don't know if you're on TikTok, but I'm like, for the people born in the 1900s that are really old, and I'm like, 1900s.
1900s. What?
Do you realize that means from 1900 to 1909? That's the 1900s, or maybe the 1900 to 1919. I don't know, but you know, you get 20s, 30. Like,
Yeah.
and I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh shit, like we're repeating history, and I'm like, I don't know. Sometimes these kids make.
But
me
there's
feel old.
times I actually forgot my goddamn age. The other day I was talking to a doc, and he's like, "How old are you?" And I'm like, and it stumped me for some reason because it's like I haven't
did the
talked
same
about
thing.
age in like a while, and I'm like, give me a moment here. What year is this?
Dude.
And I'm like, well, I was born '84. What's that? He's like, oh,
I did the
you're
same
37.
thing. I did the same thing. Somebody's like, well, how old are you turning this year? And I was like, I'm turning
It just stumps you, man.
what year is this? Like, what year are we? Dude, I don't celebrate. I don't really care about my birthday. My birthday to me doesn't really mean much because it's just another day to me. It's like, when you get after the point where you have to start paying bills, you don't want to deal with that until you hit 25 when the insurance goes down in price.
Yeah.
Dude, when my insurance dropped like $80, I was like, oh, happy birthday to me.
Oh,
But I was like, I think I was like 36. Somebody's like, well, how old are you going to be? And I'm like, how old's my daughter? She's 10. I'm like, I'm 26. I'll be 36. I was 26 when she was born. All right, I know this. Math in my head. Can't do it right now.
Well, yeah.
Like, I'm afraid. Like, everybody's like, they're like, you have Alzheimer's. I'm like, well, one, it's called Alzheimer's, not Alzheimer's. And two, shut up.
Shut your little face. No.
I'm like,
Look at here, you young whippersnapper. Back in my day.
I always tell people, like, I'll beat your ass, and I probably beat your dad's ass in high school. So let's do this again.
There are times now I've seen certain individuals, like the way they speak. I'm like, wait until you're actually there. You'll fucking apologize to someone like me, for fuck's sake. But I've been very fortunate. I haven't had any young whippersnappers fucking acting all disrespectful and shit. Like, I've actually been fortunate to meet most individuals that, like, for some reason, I have this draw where people want to open up and actually talk to me. I had one person, you know what? I feel like I get dad vibes from you. Like
I get that all.
And I'm like,
I
okay, I don't find that bad, I guess. Yeah.
No. I get that a lot. They're like, oh, I feel like I can talk to you. And I'm like,
cool.
But I don't want to talk to you.
Dude, I've had random people. I remember I was just walking, like, I'm about halfway getting to that warehouse. And some lady's like, so I lost my card and this and this and that. And then somebody ran it. And she's like giving me the inside scoop here. What the fuck just happened to this girl, or what's been happening with this debit card that got stolen apparently or whatever. And I'm like, oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. And I'm like, what is this? A fucking little quick therapy session just for her to, open up real quick? I said, fuck it. I just stood there. I'm like, okay, all right. Gave her like maybe 2 or 3 suggestions of what possibly she could do to, rectify the situation. And then off we went.
And then I've been like, this is my Venmo. You can send me the $125 an hour that you owe me now for this therapy session.
Right. That's what happened.
I get that a lot. Like I'll sit there and have a regular conversation. I'll go to a gathering with people like this. And baby, if you're watching, I'm talking about the past. Don't shoot me. I know you got a new gun coming, so calm down. Now I remember back in the past. So I was at a party with a bunch of my friends, and I was there with my girlfriend and a bunch of people I didn't know. And we just started randomly talking about something because I used to work at Busch Gardens Hollow Screen. And they're like, oh, well, we feel like you're such a nice person. Like in seconds, I have Instagram follow and a Facebook request. I'm like, I don't know what got you in thinking that I just want to have a conversation. I'm just trying to be a nice guy.
Right.
I'm drinking right now. So I'm just being like, hey, let's talk. So I'm like, and then all of a sudden they become like the nagging nanny. And they're always like asking me like a million questions. And I'm like, I don't know if you understand this, but I don't know everything in the world. Like, I'm sorry about your problem with your man, but I couldn't tell you. I don't know the guy. So I'm not going to sit there and tell you, do this and do that and do this because I don't know his side of the story. So
exactly.
Good luck with that.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Right.
I'll talk. I'll give people my best advice because obviously I've been around the way, and I'll do my best. But then at the end of the day, it's like it's ultimately up to them as to what they want to do.
Exactly. So, yeah, that's my approach on it, is like, for the most part, I'll just give as much information as I possess. That way they can go take that and then add it to their arsenal to try to make the best decision for their situation. And that's it. Like, I try to I try not to guide someone in any particular direction. I just, here's the info, here it is on the table, you have at it, have fun, have a nice day. And that's it.
That's about what I do. It's like, this is the info. Go with it. Do what you would do. Make your best decision. Unfortunately, some people still make bad decisions. Some people here with other. No, honestly, one of the ones we got right now, and let us go off here. So at my cigar shop, I got like about a group of about 10 to 12 guys that I've met over the 2 years I've been back here in Spring Hill, and over time we've met a bunch of people. We start talking. Obviously, I'm not the oldest one in the group. We have a lot of guys who are very experienced, very well off. I listen to them. I listen to their experience. I listen to their suggestions on things.
Exactly.
And then we have this one guy named Justin, young kid, really couldn't keep a job. Like, you have a job, do it for a week, quit it, go somewhere else. But he's at the young age right now where he's still, I think he said he was 20, 21, 22, somewhere in there. And
I'm like, a lot to go.
Actually, no, I think he said he's 24, actually. And I'm like, dude, that's what we all said. You have a very long way. Oh, yeah. I'm like, if I was 24 years old, and I knew the things I knew now, then I'm sitting here talking. I'm telling you right now, these are some ideas. And we're all saying the same thing. He wants to go to college. He wants to go do something. I'm like, you're wasting time. This time's going to go by. I'm like, dude, you can come here with your laptop, do your online schooling in the SCOP while you're smoking a cigar, and then get it done. But he's sitting on his ass. And he's just doing this, doing that, being lazy. I'm like, dude, put money back. Invest in the 401k. I wish I knew about a 401k when I was a kid. Never really got that explained to me properly. Exactly. I'm like, there's a lot of things that you're hearing from all these people. We've got people like me who are not well off. I'm still working. I'm not gonna say working check to check, but I'm comfortable. But I wish I had done better. And then we've got people who are out here spending like $600 a week on cigars alone, just that. But they don't include the alcohol and all that.
Boy,
I'm like, take a mix
600.
of our experiences, learn from what works, learn from what doesn't work, and go with it. Like, we're here to help you. We're here to guide you. We welcome you into this family, we welcome you into this crew.
Right.
We're trying to help you. So now he finally decided to sign up for college after a year of going back and forth with this. So he's finally going to go there, which is great. But cool. The same thing. Like, you can only tell somebody so far. It's like the old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's what we did. We finally let him there, and he's finally starting to.
There's been times I'm blue in the face because I've said that. I was like, look, you're not. You can just try, but they're not going to drink, bro. That's it.
Yeah. But now we finally got him there, and he's now drinking the Kool-Aid. So, as the kids say. Is that what the kids say nowadays, drinking the Kool-Aid?
Honestly,
I don't know.
That's what the world's doing with all the bullshit from the media. But I'm not going to go that direction.
Let's not do that. That's a whole different podcast. That can go hours.
That definitely. I've already read a couple of things and pulled up some information that got me pissed. But there's a lot of things out of my hands, so getting pissed is fucking waste. But
the one that got me the most heated, and I'm not going to go into too deep, but was Biden wanted DeSantis to rename St. Petersburg to something else because it's named after St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm like, come on, dude. You are not going to get the
wow, that's the first I've heard of that. That's kind of silly.
It was on what was it? One of the country stations. They were talking about it. And I was like, you are not going to get the people of St. Pete to change the name of St. Pete.
They will not. Hell no.
It ain't going to happen. I'm like, Biden can come down here all day and bring in the National Guard and do whatever he's got to do. It ain't happening. It's going to be on every. You can have every other state in the country change the name of St. Petersburg on the map, but Florida's maps are going to say St. Petersburg for life.
That's it.
No,
I don't know that it's stuff like that. Like in general, I don't understand with so many individuals wanting to change the name of this, change the name of that. It's like, it's only the way you perceive it. I mean, right now, somebody want to change the name of a football team, and last I remember, someone actually went down and spoke to some Native Americans to pick their brains on their actual feelings about the situation. And ultimately, it came down to each and every individual he spoke with. Mm-hmm. All were upset that they changed the name because they literally stated like this: they took away our representation.
Yep.
That was our representation. They weren't doing that to be mean to us or something like that. That was our representation. And I'm like, exactly. So nobody came down here and talked to y'all at all, and they just went and thought that they need to change this name. The same goes with there's certain other things that they changed where I believe it was the whole Betty Crocker thing, or was it Betty Crocker?
It was Betty Crocker. It was Land O'Lakes Butter.
Like there was certain ones.
It was Aunt Jemima.
Aunt Jemima was the main one that I remember. That here you are taking her legacy down. Like she made that happen. You're being like the R word by taking her off of this product.
Yeah,
y'all fucking.
The thing is, they still got the name. Like I remember, like I said, I worked at Target for when COVID hit. I lost my main job and I started working at Target. And I started doing the truck unload and I started seeing the boxes, and then all of a sudden you see the boxes, but Aunt Jemima's face is not on it.
Exactly. Right.
I'm like, what's the whole point of this? Like, it wasn't. She made syrup. Like she made my breakfast crack. So it was great.
Yeah, because I told someone, I'm like, look at it like this. Let's say you go and you do all you can to make a product. You put your face on it. You're proud of it, that you made it and everything. And somebody comes around and just assumes that you don't need to be on it because of what they assume is wrong, right or wrong or whatever.
Because
they
a handful of people are offended.
Would you be upset they took your face off of your product?
Yeah, I would.
And a lot of people are not thinking that.
She had no ties. Yeah, no, they're all thinking that she was part of the day back in the day when the Civil War and slavery and all this and all that. I'm like, yeah, she made syrup.
Yeah,
that's what she did. So how does that have anything political or?
That was a very successful woman. That was the thing. That was a very successful.
Yeah, she was. She busted her ass, and now you have. This is the rabbit hole. This is the rabbit hole that we can keep on going down. Since people would just have this one simple mind. Media says one thing, and these adolescent, uneducated young kids that don't know shit about history are going to put their 2 cents on it, and all of a sudden it's because they're TikTok famous or they're Instagram famous or they're an influencer. They're going to make the whole entire country change their outlook.
There are times where I don't blame them solely because there's individuals at play. There's things behind curtains at play.
Yeah.
That intentionally have this situation. You know?
The little puppeteer.
Yeah, right now I've seen people that are in institutes and in universities and stuff, and just to hear the blabber that comes out of their mouth, I'm like, wow, this is what they're teaching you. Wow, they really are trying to mold you for what the fuck they want you to be, dumbass.
No, they're trying to. They're trying to make everybody. And I won't get political, but they're trying to make everybody liberal.
Yeah. These titles, I hate these titles. I really do.
I hate them too, but the thing is, in long stories, that's the best way you can describe right now until we can figure out. I mean, you can't really say. You can't really say the R word. Can I say the R word? Can I say retarded? Oh, oops, I said it.
Well, you called yourself that earlier, so that's on yourself.
Oh, yeah, I did. Because honestly, sometimes I am retarded. I do stupid shops. I'll walk into a kitchen. I'm like,
yeah,
what I come here for? Yeah, whatever. But yeah,
see that happens to the best of us, so I can't really say that.
Yeah, no, sure.
There's been plenty of times I've walked into a damn room and I'm like, what the hell did I walk in here?
Dude, when I went to go get this cable, I walked into my bedroom just to get my cable, and I'm like, what did I come in here for? And I looked over and I saw my cigars. I'm like, oh, that's what I came in. I turned around. I'm like, no, that's not what I came in here. I came for the cable.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I wanted that too.
I need both right now. It's morning. I need my morning stick. Anyway, that's a rabbit hole we can do. I mean, that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing that I only know so much because I decided out of curiosity to go pull it up. But Other than that,
I
I really don't. The more I know, the more I get pissed, the more I get upset, the more I get disgusted with certain things. So I just, you
yeah.
know what? I'm done. Like I'm just.
That's why I got rid of cable. Like I have straight up streaming networks now. I don't even watch the news anymore. Like I
I
go
don't
to
even
work and
have
they play it.
streaming for fuck's sake. Like I just,
No,
I just
no,
once in a
I've
blue
got
moon jump on something and like I've been kind of following a couple of like streamers from the Twitch stuff just to see what they're doing, just fucking around and having a good time. And then there's stuff on the YouTube that I check out once in a blue moon, and that's about
I
it.
gotta get
Like,
more on the YouTube. Like I do a lot of stuff on YouTube. Like I watch your podcast a few times, and then I watch some other things, but I don't really get on. Like YouTube is just again, that's another rabbit hole of social media that I'm like I've already got enough. I got Facebook.
I'm just
and I got
glad
Instagram.
that
It's really
where for whom I want to see and what I want to see, at least it's there. It's not like
yeah.
anything's molded a certain way where like the things I would want to see are just like banned or something like that. It's like, yeah, well, that's like our buddy John Hill. I don't know if you remember that young man.
I remember John Hill.
Let's just say he hasn't been able to be on Facebook for quite a while.
I believe it. Yeah, trust me. I've seen some of his posts before. I don't even know if he unfriended me or if I unfriended him. But yeah, we're not on Facebook anymore together. But
yeah, he's flat out not on anything that involves Facebook. Yeah, he can't because he got kicked off. That's
well, yeah, it's because he posts nothing but like I wouldn't say hateful, but what Facebook would consider hateful.
Yeah, right. That's the thing. Like some of the stuff I was looking at, I understand where he's coming from. I do understand some of the history. I do have a vague idea of what things actually are and what they aren't. But when it comes down to it, like you said, that's what Facebook don't like. So guess what?
Yeah.
You're not there anymore. And well, I mean that's just the way the cookie crumbles. But I told him there's other avenues if because there was I forgot this other service that's out there that
Rumble.
Anybody that get kicked off of this can come over here. I forgot the name.
Rumble. It's called Rumble.
Well, Rumble's the one that's like how YouTube is, but I mean, something like how, for example, like Twitter. It's something like Twitter. There's another company that's like them, and I think it started with a P.
I think I seen somebody mention that. Like it's like a TikTok Twitter mashup kind of thing.
But somebody was trying to state that like the fucking Google Play and whatever like that wouldn't even put them on there, so you couldn't even get it. Like they were finding ways to try to not even have them be a thing.
You got to go on Google Chrome. You got to go find the APK app or AKP, whatever it's called.
Like
you
the Apple Store didn't want to hold it or something like that.
Yeah.
Like they were being very harsh.
You got to download an APK file to download the app, and then you got to give your phone permission to download the app. So yeah, there's ways to get it on there. Just
right, exactly.
I won't post anything about it.
It's just the basic ways are not available.
Yeah,
which is sad because I've talked to people people don't understand what freedom of speech really is. They really don't.
No, they don't.
They don't.
They don't. And
they're
Facebook's
so lost on
it's
it.
got worse.
And people don't. There's so many individuals like have an abusiveness towards it where they think they can say things but nobody else can. I was like, I'm sorry, it's not a one-way street.
Yeah, they can post their hate speech toward like say for instance Disney and Universal. Disney can post some kind of hate speech toward Universal, but then if Universal hits a response, Universal is now blocked from Facebook. In a way to describe it, kind of thing.
Which what the hell is a hate speech? I mean, sometimes I'm like, it's not really hate. Somebody's just trying to say it's hate. It's never some of the stuff I've seen on both sides, really. I mean, I don't see it as much hate, but I do see a disdain for someone if you don't like them and stuff. But
yeah, I can see things. Like I can understand if you're going on somebody's Facebook page, it's like, oh, you're a racist piece of shit. I'm going to kill you. If that was a comment, I can understand that would be considered a hate thing.
Right.
But like 2 days ago, my girlfriend's friend said she posted because she was being attacked on Facebook under a post. It was something non-political, non-racist, not something, or it's just something stupid about something that happened in Pasco County. And she's like, she said something. Somebody made a comment about hateness and you're racist and all this. So she's like, why don't you? And her comment to her was, why don't you get a life? 24-hour ban like that within seconds after she made that comment.
Oh God.
And then she appealed it. Now she's on a 3-day ban because she appealed it. I'm like,
wait a minute, she's on a 3-day ban for appeal?
She's on a 3-day ban. Like, did you not see the comment that she was responding to? Is that not a hateful? Like, she's literally attacking this woman.
Right.
Like, they have these keywords on social media they look for, like the F word, the S word, any of the profile language.
Right.
They have that in a filter, and it's like instantly like that. Like I got a comment. Dude, I'm a bully of bullies. Like, I'm not going to bully somebody, but if you're a bully on social media, I will bully the hell out of you.
Yeah, because there's people that like to punch down, and I'm the main one that'll be punching right back. It's like, no.
Like one of the things, like I said, I'm on TikTok. I'm big on TikTok. Bear_Moto. You'll find me on there. It's all motorcycle stuff. It's pretty much all it is.
Exactly.
But I follow a few of my friends, and one of them is my ex-girlfriend who is now married. I went to the wedding too. We're still great. We're still good friends. Like, she's an amazing person. Mm-hmm. I'm very happy for her. But I had seen a comment. Like, I saw one of her videos pop up on the For You page, and I saw a comment, and it says, it was a video response to a comment that was on another video, and it says, "Nobody likes a woman with abs." I'm like, what?
Who the fuck's that joker? He's only
and
talking
I'm like,
to himself.
So I click on the comment, and I go, and I see there's a whole bunch of video, and he's literally commenting, "Oh, your thighs are too big. Oh, your legs are too small. Oh, you need big." He's literally attacking her. Right. I'm like, she has busted her ass. Like, she used to be a not a big woman, but a thicker woman. Uh-huh. And she busted her ass to lose a lot of weight. She lost a shit ton of weight for the wedding. She looked amazing. And she's literally being attacked by these hate guys on TikTok. So I'm literally on there like commenting. I'm like, this is coming from like a fat guy who lives in the basement of his mom's basement, blah blah blah, who literally has who has no content, no profile picture, no nothing. But all you want to do is hate speech. And then I'll just go at this person left and right and left and right and left and right. And I'll be like, there's 60 comments of me attacking this person. I'm like, TikTok won't take that down because I didn't use any F-bombs. I didn't use any racial slurs. I never used racial slurs.
Right, exactly.
But the one comment I did leave, you fat, worthless piece of shit. Comment was taken down. I have a 24-hour ban. I can't comment. I can't make any posts. I'm like, you kidding me? Come on.
But I'm just stating the facts here. No, well, God forbid you state the facts, because that's the other thing. Yeah. You can't be stating the facts.
Dude, I am on the community. I at one point I was having community guideline violations almost constantly.
But what they claim as a community guideline is just them wanting you to not say the truth. There's a lot of times.
What's funny is here's the funny part. I can try and show you here in the video. I didn't even say anything in a video. It was a stitch. I don't know. Do you know TikTok? Do you do TikTok?
I'm aware of it, and my brother. I actually helped him make a dance. Actually, we put a dance up.
Oh God! All right, I don't do all that. Right,
I know he likes that shit. Yeah.
So there's videos where you can stitch. Like, somebody makes a video, you can stitch 5 seconds of it, or I think now it's longer, and then you can come in and do whatever, say whatever you want to do whatever you want to do, whatever. So I'm going to post it. I'll post this up to the camera. I'm not sure if it's going to pick up the audio, but this is something that was a violation for harassment for the first time. It was harassment and bullying, and then the second time it was taken down for nudity.
Nudity?
Hold on a second. Hold on, I'm going to show you real quick. I'll pull it up. Now, this is the second video.
Girls with pierced titties be like, you can't hurt me, I have pierced titties.
No, wait, that's not the one. Hold on, I gotta find the other.
That looks funny right there.
Hold on, this one got 3.7 million views.
Oh wow!
Hold on, I'm trying to find it. It's like I got so many freaking videos. All right, here it is. This is the one.
Girls with pierced titties be like, you can't hurt me, I have pierced titties.
That's it. That's it. That's all I had. And even the girl in the video, I don't know who it is. I just saw it on there and I decided to stitch it. She actually commented and laughed her ass off. She's like, "This is the best stitch ever." and TikTok took it down. So I made like multiple videos. Like, here's another one. I'll show you this one real quick. This is the last one, and we'll get off. We'll go back to the regular subject. Right. Obviously, you can see the one there, the one I posted, and the one next to it is community guideline violation.
What?
I was busy thinking about.
Now, hold on. I'll let her go back. I'll pause
it
real quick.
Now.
She's wearing a D-cup bra with A-cup boobies.
Yeah, I see that. It looks so off.
Yeah, and then I just take and this is basically me stitching.
Yeah, exactly.
My little Lego man with my helmet on. I'm like, that's all I did. But the video that it's not there. The video that I got harassment is, you see right there. It says harassment and bullying. All it was that same video, me taking the largest ratchet I had, walking over to my bike and finding the smallest bolts I could. That's all I did. That's all I did. And I'm like, and it says harassment and bullying. I'm like, are you kidding? Like
Oh wow.
the girl in the video is even that's not even her account. That's somebody else's video because they made other Stitch videos. I'm like, how is that video still up? Because his was worse than mine. Because he held up a condom. That's basically what he. I'll just go with that.
Oh
And I was like, how did mine get taken down? Like, there's no harassment. It's literally a bolt and a rat and a wrench. How does that work? Anyway. But anyway,
just showing a
we'll get off that
comparison.
subject.
It's just a comparison.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's having fun on TikTok. Like TikTok was great back in the day. Now I had a community guideline violation from like last year. I'm like, huh?
Actually, I'm not aware of exactly how things were going. Somebody was trying to claim that TikTok is mostly China. And somebody was trying to say that the company was going to be just like, I guess, shut down or whatever. And then that somebody else came in and bought it or were going to take over. And I don't know exactly how that went, but
so what happened? So it was TikTok was basically a Chinese-based company that started going. It's like any small app. Like Uber started in a small city. Lyft started in a small city. TikTok started in a small city in China. And it got bigger in China, and it was mostly for kids. It was a way to get kids away from YouTube. Because I don't really think China had YouTube. They were having like some issues back then.
I thought maybe
content.
I was associating it with like how the Vine stuff was, where you could make a quick little thing.
It's literally the same exact thing.
Yeah.
But China jumped on board and they said, "Oh, I did it for the Vine." Whatever that one video, I did it for the Vine. Whatever.
Yeah, it was something like that.
And then China's like, "Oh, somebody in China made up the company. Hey, we'll make a TikTok." And it grew, and then it went international, and then it went all around the world, and then it's like everywhere. And then something with the servers and had something to do with the government was able to control the servers of TikTok because obviously China does a lot of control. And then people were like, well, they have an American account with a Chinese company on a server in China that's run by the government. There's a lot of conspiracy theory. I'm not going to get into too much detail.
Right. Okay.
But basically what it came down to is you had military personnel who had these apps. They were able to share their location. When you download an app, it says, "Oh, can you want to share your location so you can find something closer?"
Which I don't.
I don't do that. I have a location just turned off. But it's like one of those things. And military personnel were actually able to do this, so they were able to to track their phone.
You know what? Now you say that, so correct me if I'm wrong. So did they at one point have all military personnel and anybody that worked with the government to not be able to have that app at all, especially on a government-issued phone and stuff like that?
Yeah, government-issued phones, it was completely banned. They could not do it. If they did it, it was, I don't know what the charge was. They were either fired or have their phone taken away. But yeah, they already said that.
Okay.
They already made all social media apps not eligible at all on any kind of military phone. Even companies are doing it nowadays. Like my boss.
Which I don't blame them. I thought that should have been a thing from the get-go, anyways. But yeah,
I thought it should too. Yeah. Even my company, we have company cell phones that we have for some of our team leads and some of our supervisors. They can't have any social media apps whatsoever. They can have like a Spotify. That's all they can have, or iTunes, whatever it is they use.
I believe they do that for our supervisors as well. Yeah, I think they can have like a Spotify.
So. Yeah, because now all these new apps are being made by other countries, and other countries, obviously our government doesn't really know how much interaction with those apps and those governments have, like China and TikTok. So,
and what kind of information could slip through their proverbial cracks that they have, and stuff like that.
Because, I mean, it's like right now, if I start talking about, let me see, if I start talking about JanSport backpacks, for instance, I guarantee you when I go in my room and I go, I see an advertisement, I'm going to see an advertisement for a JanSport backpack.
I've heard of that.
Because my phone's not listening to me.
The only way I've experienced something that's similar to that is not just speaking of it. It's just I happen to visit the website. And then later, if I go to any other website, on a little side piece, there's like an advertisement of said website I visited. That's the closest I've gotten. I have yet to experience the speak of something and then have something pop up.
So here's the fun. So I'm a cigar shop. So I do some work for a company called Till Valhalla Project. I don't really work for them. I'm one of their legacy guardians. So basically what it is they make a plaque for a fallen soldier, who passed away 2 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever. Their name's put into a hat. A plaque is made. A former personnel of the military of some kind the plaque is sent to me, and I delivered it to the actual wife of the fallen soldier who unfortunately, fell to his demise of his demons in his head. So I'm at the cigar shop, and I was thinking, yeah, man, I had this honor of delivering a plaque to this family and her daughter for a guy who passed away. And like, oh, we start talking about it. And I literally told the guy it was from the Till Valhalla project. And I said they make the shirts, they say the 22 a day, all that kind of stuff. I'm a big supporter of that.
Okay.
And my buddy said literally 20 minutes later, he's like, dude, I never went to that website. And he shows the phone. And I was like, there's an advertisement right there.
Oh wow.
I'm like, what?
Oh wow.
I was like, how it like? He's like, this is why I think our phones are listed to us. I'm like, it happens.
Well, the reason I know that in all retrospect, when I was actually thinking about it the other day with my brother, and how I think the phones are supposedly listening is because you have like for his particular phone, he'll go, "Hey Siri," and she goes, "Uh huh."
Mm-hmm.
That's it listening because it's waiting for that verbal cue. So it's catching on
words.
Everything else. So that's why it's literally an open loop of being able to hear everything that's going on. So that's why I think maybe my phone, because I don't have anything like that with my phone. So I think that's why I haven't experienced that. So that's, I mean, I don't know if does Android have something like that? I don't even know. Because I got an Android.
I got Android. Hey, so does he. He has the Note 20 Ultra or Plus.
So maybe they have that type of functionality if you have it active or whatever.
Because because all you gotta do is say, "Hey Google," and oh shit, there it goes.
Yeah, exactly. So at that point, that's when it is indeed actively listening. Mine, I don't have that. I don't have that at all. So maybe that's why I haven't experienced that.
Yeah, I have Hey Google because like when I'm driving, I'm like, "Hey Google, directions to such and such address," and you'll pop up and it'll kick into the to the audio play on the car, so I'll know where I'm going.
Oh, okay. Right.
So, but yeah, that's I don't know.
That's your pros and cons right there.
Yep.
We just gave a pro and con right there.
Yep.
So it's like choose your poison. What do you want to I mean, it's nice. Like you said, it's a hands-free, safe way of approaching it. Hey, go, let me get this address. Boom, you're good. But the flip side is that shit's listening to every fucking thing you're talking about. So
oh yeah, your Android.
Yeah, it's like, what do you want to do?
Your iPhone, your Alexa, your Google Homecast, which I have one. Oh. One day I think they started laughing at me. I'm sitting there watching TV. I'm like, I mute my TV and I hear this child's laugh, and I'm like,
a child's laugh?
Why am I'm home alone? There's nobody here. I'm like, what the shit? I'm sorry, it was my Alexa when I was living in Orlando. I'm like, what the hell? And I see the Alexa lights on the bottom of the pod turning. I'm like, which means it's activated. I'm like, and then I shit you not, within 24 hours, there was a big story that millions of people's Alexa had gone off at the same exact time with a child's laugh.
Oh shit!
And there was I never got into the story as to why it happened or how it happened, but I'm like,
wow, that's the first I've heard of that.
That's creepy.
That's creepy shit.
It was about 3 years ago. I want to say it's about 3 years ago. I was just like,
was it during Halloween?
No,
that would make it that much creepier.
No, I think it was right before my daughter came down, so it was actually about 3 years ago, like April or May.
That's very interesting.
Somewhere there. I remember I came home early from working at Coke, and I sat down, and I'm like,
why do I hear a child's laugh?
It was like it wasn't like a shining. It wasn't. It was literally a child being tickled laugh.
Oh,
I was like, it was just weird.
That's wild.
But apparently that happened with Google at one point. I didn't have the Google at the time, but apparently it happened there too. I mean, anyway, people hack this stuff all the time.
I've yet to hear that. That's the first I've heard. That's very interesting.
That's why none of that stuff is in my bedroom. All that I have a Google home in my living room. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, I just don't care for any of that stuff because I'm very old school with certain ways I approach things, I guess, and it's treated me well. Let's say that. I don't have to worry about these things free. I've experienced.
It was free, and it was for me. I had signed up for Spotify. Spotify gave me a free Google Home Mini. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not?
Not one of them. I have not been enticed in wanting to deal with anything that says, hey, we'll give you like X amount of time free or whatever. Like I've had all the things try to like, the Netflix and the Amazon and stuff like that when it came to those services. And I didn't jump on board with any of them because don't get me wrong, there are like selective things I wouldn't mind seeing off of the Disney Plus and stuff like that. But they're not enough for me to give a shit.
Some people just it's not for them.
It's not.
So I mean, it's like you have people that are like, oh, I didn't have this, so I need to be able to watch this show because once you start going down the rabbit hole of TV shows, then you want to watch the whole entire season,
right?
And it's like,
which my brother just did that. He just sat down and he's been on this an animated version of this thing called Castlevania that's on Netflix, and he's been watching that. He's like, oh yeah, I'm already on X season. And I'm like, what? Already?
Yeah,
what the fuck?
My daughter's into all that. She likes the My Hero Academia, the Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, the one he dragged me to go see a movie. He invited me. He's like, I'll pay. Trust me. Come on, please. And he wanted me to. God damn it! What the hell are you doing, this fucking dog? I love you to death, but you know. But it was something. I think it was called Demon Slayer. That's what it's called.
Yep.
Demon Slayer.
That's
and
on there
he
now.
really likes that. And he's like, "Oh man, I can't wait for this next season or this and that." And I'm like, "Okay, you know."
Yeah, my daughter. Like I said, when I took her back last summer, we went to the bookstore, and like I said, she's big into anime now, so I'm supporting her because that's what she wants to do.
That's cool.
And I'm like looking at all this stuff, and I'm like, "What about Goosebumps? Remember those books? Those are good books."
I think the last time I heard anything about Goosebumps was they attempted to make a movie recently, I guess, with Jack Black in it or something like that. Yeah. That's it.
But I remember like back in the day, like a Goosebump book came out like every month or every few weeks. I remember like my friend had the whole
there's
library.
A lot. Oh my god, there's so many.
Oh, they're still out there, but they're not as big as they were. But like she's showing me this like 3 aisles of sections of anime, and I'm like,
3 aisles.
She's showing me like, dude. But the thing is, like each one has like chapters.
Yeah.
I'm like, she showed me Demon Slayer book 1 through 20, and then she showed me the My Hero Academia is one she got started with. Wow. She showed me all those books, and I'm like, and then she started talking about Dragon Ball Z and Super, then Mega, and I'm like,
there you go. Okay.
Huh? I'm like, okay. I'm like, listen, this is your thing. I had my thing when I was a kid.
I know a little bit about the Dragon Ball, but that's about it. No.
That's pretty much the extent of what I know anything about anime cartoons. Yeah. But then she started getting all this, and I'm like,
don't get me wrong. I sat down and tried to watch a couple of episodes of certain things, and like I said, he dragged me into seeing a movie at the theater for the Demon Slayer, and it was pretty cool. I was like, it's a pretty nice concept. I see what they got going, but it's still not my cup of tea. Like I don't have any hate or ill will towards it, so it's like there you go. To each his own. Like I love stuff like comic books and stuff with DC, Marvel, and X, but it's like. But I'm not a big enough fan to go out and collect this and collect that. Like, I got things here, but it's only like most of it was given to me and stuff like that. And then this over here was gifted to me. So all the stuff you see behind me, the only thing I paid out of pocket was maybe a poster or two, and that was it. And then I had like shirts that I did custom made, and like that's the extent of it. Like I don't, like I got some Star Wars stuff. Like I definitely have all the movies. But when it came to like the animation, like they had an animation thing that was called not the Old Republic. What was it called? Clone Wars. It was called Clone Wars. I actually bought that because I'm a tangible guy. I like having the Blu-ray. I like having tangible media. The whole streaming thing, it's kind of cool, but it's like I don't like paying for something that I don't have in my hand that I can say this is mine. No, at any moment, these motherfuckers can stop. Let's say you're watching a thing and you want to watch the thing on the Netflix, as an example. But then they said, oh, I'm sorry, but we already took that off. What do you mean? I'm fucking paying so I can come on and see that thing, but now you're saying you don't have it. Fuck you. Yep. You know, it's like, no, I don't want somebody controlling what I fucking see and what I don't see.
It's like when right now, like I just got done watching the first 3 seasons of Yellowstone. I was like, I got hooked. Yellowstone was a great show.
Yeah.
Season 4 is on a whole different platform.
What?
I was like, it's on YouTube Red or something.
Red. Oh yeah, that's the thing from YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not paying for the subscription to watch season 4. I'm done.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Like I canceled my HBO Max because I got tired of the same movies coming in. Like, oh, this movie comes out. Like, oh, cool. I got a chance to see the new Matrix before it came out, and then it went away. And then they're talking about the new coming soon. I'm like, all these movies that are coming soon have already come out last year. You're just bringing them back.
Exactly.
Like the new Space Jam, the new Matrix.
I think it was my buddy Mike let me see a little bit of HBO Max, so I got to see the Wonder Woman 84.
That was good.
And then
Yep.
I got
That's why.
to
That's actually why I bought
see,
it, because I was big. I was a big DC person. I'm like,
what
I
was
seen
the
them
other
all. I
one?
might as well do
Oh,
it.
Kong versus Godzilla popped up on that, and the last thing I got to see was the last Suicide Squad, which
Yep.
came
I
out
watched that
good.
one.
I thought that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah. I
But
canceled
those are
mine right
things
when
that
the,
I got to see them like that. Cool, yeah. But I still bought them, and I would have still, like, let's say I didn't see them on it, I would have still ultimately bought them on Blu-ray anyways, because that's how I
Yeah.
am. Like, I just bought the copy of Dune. I didn't go to the movie theater. Like, I haven't had the mood to want to go to the movie theater. Mainly, I kind of attribute it to the passing of my dad, because him and I used to go to the movie theater a lot, and
Yep.
that's part of it. I know that's not 100% the reason, but also the way it is, it's like a full day event. Even if I do first matinee and then I go get something to eat and then it takes forever to get home because of the way the traffic, it's a full day event. And I'm like, fuck that. I'll just wait until the damn movie's out, and then I'll fucking order the goddamn
Buy it.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
Dune was pretty interesting. I also bought, or I pre-ordered already, the Spider-Man No Way Home and the Matrix. I got that pre-ordered. So when that comes around, it comes around. Like, I'm not in a need to see it right then and there when it comes out first on the.
Yeah.
Fuck all that. Like I'm already trying to debate if I want to go see the Batman, because I got a buddy of mine who was like, hey man, if you hook us up with the tickets, I'll pay my way and this and that, and maybe at the end of the month or something like that. And I'm like, I'm still, I don't know.
I was skeptical until I started seeing everybody's reviews about how amazing it was. And I'm like, you're killing me, Smalls.
There's only one person so far that I follow that she's like, oh crap, I didn't like it. Like, she was upset at herself that she didn't like it, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I've seen a few people talk about how bad it was, but a lot of like the few Facebook friends that I've got left, they're all like, oh, it was so amazing, it was amazing, it was amazing.
Oh, that's
then,
like
one
Justice League. That's the other one I was thinking about.
Yeah.
So what were
Yeah.
like I really enjoyed the ways they finally allowed Zach to do his version of it, and then it popped up on HBO Max.
I sat through all 4.5 hours of that in one sitting. I brought everything to the couch. I had the table set up. I had my my 2-liter bottle of Coke sitting next to me.
There you go.
And a thing of ice, and I had my Jack Daniels. I had like 3 bags of chips. I had my buffalo dip, and I had a cigar. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm like,
I thought it came out fantastic.
I can't take my eyes off the screen.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'm like, at one point, I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom. I'm like, oh wait a second, I can pause it. I forgot.
Yeah.
I gotta go poop.
There are times I push my bladder to a limit because I'm so sucked into what's going on. But yes,
I saw No Way Home in theaters
Uh-huh.
because it was a cheap ticket. It was like $5. I was like, I can't pass that up. So
Oh really? Oh wow. Well,
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it was like one of those app special things, whatever it was.
Okay, that's cool.
On
Yeah, you would. If I got an offer like that, I probably would have too. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I'm sitting there watching. I bought the big drink. I bought the big popcorn. I bought sneak in our candy because I'm not paying $6 for a thing of Twizzlers. It's like this big when I could buy
Shit,
$1.
I don't buy
like
anything at the fucking movie theater. I eat before or after.
I buy the drink just because I want to have something to drink while I'm sitting there. That's not too bad, and plus you can refill it. But then, yeah, that was my issue. I'm like, it's getting to the end. I know it is, but unfortunately, it's not far enough to the end. And I'm like, I'm gonna pee.
Because the main thing too is to not sacrifice yourself to the point where you've got to pee so bad that you might not be able to sit through the credits to see the end credits because they're gonna have something at the end.
Oh, we all stay. You stay for that. I look at the people that stand up when as soon as that first set of clips hit, they're like up and out, and I'm like,
it's like no,
watching the door. I'm like,
fucking up.
You dumb.
Fucking
you
up.
dumb. You dumb. You dumb. You dumb.
Now, don't get me wrong. Depending on the time you went, maybe they already seen it again. Like this might be their second view.
Oh no, this was a lot of people. This theater was full. It was packed. I mean, dude, as soon as Andrew Garfield shows up on screen, the first one, I was like, huh? Everybody's like, whoa!
See, I'm one of those people. I don't care about spoilers, but I already had an inclination that they were gonna have these individuals pop up. Like the way they were playing off, oh, I'm not there and all that. I'm like, I'm sure you are. And sure enough, later on, there was there.
We talked about it forever, and I'm on the IMDb website looking. I'm like, he's not listed. And I go to his own personal profile. I'm like, he's not listed. I go to the Spider-Man No Way Home list. I'm like, he's not listed. Neither one of them are listed. I'm like, I don't see anybody. But I'm like, the trailer shows Doc Ock from the first one. It's even in the trailer. Like, you see it in the trailer. So it's got to be somebody from the first one.
It's one of those things. The way it was laid out, I was like,
yeah,
it would behoove them not to have those two individuals in there. Because in all honesty, like, a lot of people didn't like the Andrew Garfield so much, but I personally think he played a great Peter Parker.
I think he did well.
And then the way the other one, I was like, dude, they have to have them. They'll be shooting them in their foot if they don't have these two in there. They have no idea how much money they would make. Once they find out, oh, it is there, and then people are going to finally go to want to see it that they like originally thought they weren't going to see it. And then you draw in that many more people. It's like, I knew they should have fucking had these motherfuckers in there. I'm already hearing talks about Doctor Strange that's going to blow the fuck up with all kinds of shit.
Oh, my God, dude, that trailer.
That thing's insane. They're already talking about, they might have the X-Men, and they might have a Deadpool dude show up, and they might have this guy and that guy.
That's been the biggest talk.
There you go.
That's been the biggest talk since the end. I mean, I won't spoil the end credit.
No, yeah,
that was after everything. I'll let you watch that.
Yeah.
But they're finally puzzle piecing a lot of the movies that are out there that are not part of the Universal.
Well, it's considering that they finally bought the IP. I mean, when Fox sold all their movie and TV IP and then fucking Disney came around and just scooped it up. I mean, eventually that was going to happen. Like, it's like, then the agreements and however the agreements have been with Sony. So you got that going on, and apparently they've been doing pretty well. They have a good relationship, and I'm like, there you go. Like what was the other one? Oh fuck, what was the other one? Morbius, that looks interesting. I just saw a
trailer for that this morning.
The second fucking Venom had a little something, and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, the second Venom was really. The second Venom was actually really good. The second Venom.
I enjoyed the shit out of it. I thought it was pretty good.
Now I will say the one thing that I wasn't expecting, and when you see it, you're gonna lose your shit, is when you see when one character shows up in the screen.
On which one? The Spider-Man?
On No Way Home.
Okay. All right.
So I'm not gonna tell you who it is. I'm not gonna tell you from what movie he's from. I'm not gonna tell you anything. But I'm just gonna say.
Well, that's also good for anybody watching this. Whenever I put this.
He's gonna pop up after this shit hits the fan. He's gonna pop up and he'll be like,
"Oh shit!
Oh shit! They really are doing a lot
of." Okay.
But anyway, that's all I want to get into, because I've watched it twice and I know I'm gonna say something stupid if we keep talking about it. I know I've already said one thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll leave that away. But that's not something that's a secret anymore. Everybody knows about it because it's out there.
But I know the future's bright because, I mean, that gives you the ability to fucking play with it. That gives you more abilities to approach certain shit, because not everything has to be the same way. You can have, like, a particular actor reprise the role, but it's like, does it have to be what the shit came out? You don't have to have it the same way. You can still have the dude playing a role. It's just the different universe. Like, that's the flexibility about this, is that you could tell so many different stories and stuff. Like, I just got a copy of because I think DC's animated division has been doing pretty fucking good. I just got the Injustice copy, and I sat down and watched that. And I enjoyed the way that was, because I got introduced to the whole Injustice story, just like anybody else did, through the video game that they made called Injustice, where you got Superman's kind of like a bad guy, and then you got Batman over here on the ground and stuff like that. And the story was pretty cool from that. And then I heard that they piggybacked off to that to then make a comic. And then that comic pretty much followed the game, but also gave you a lot more stuff that wasn't in the game, of course. But then I was interested in what they were going to do with the animation, because I was like, I have a feeling they're going to change it, because I'm one of those people that I enjoy the idea of them making their own story. Like, when people get pissy and be like, well, when they see a movie and they're like, well, that wasn't like that in the comic book. I was like, it's not fucking supposed to be like that. You don't want to fucking copy paste. You got the comic book and now you got the movie. It's two fucking things. Leave it alone. Stop being an idiot. And then in certain cases, I'm like, apparently you haven't seen all the comic books, because that right there is actually in canon with a comic book, is that you probably haven't read it. There's so many iterations of characters.
It's the same thing with books and movies. Everybody's like, oh, it's so much different. I'm like, well, yeah, because it's Hollywood. Hollywood likes to put a twist on everything.
Yeah.
So
but it's like, depending on how it goes, I really enjoy the way they did it. Like, so with this Injustice animation film, I thought it went really well because I think they gave Superman a little more of the respect that I think ultimately the other stories didn't give him. As in, they went all out on the game and they went all out with the killing spree, etc. So there was some deaths. Don't get me wrong, there was some deaths, but they gave Superman still a beneficial, grounded. Like if you were in his shoes, I believe you would do the same thing kind of feeling. They didn't give it like a little too hardcore on him and shit like that. And I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed the way this fucking came out. I think this came out really good. Like it was a really good. Don't get me wrong. There was actually a point in time I got a little teary eyed because of a particular individual and a particular death. But I was like, oh wow, that actually affected me. But it was like it was one of those like I'm very like welcoming of something like that could give me a twist or give me a change in the story. And then I said, okay, I like this story. It came out good because everybody's their own writer. Let them write their story. Like when people sit down and like I said from earlier, it's like, oh, that didn't happen in comics. Of course it didn't. But you know how many fucking years upon years and decades upon decades of a character's existence in comic books, you could take bits and pieces of it and make your own nice solid story. Yep. And so far, everything I've ever seen, I've enjoyed everything because I'm not one of those haters where even if it was kind of campy or whatever, like, oh, this is probably gonna sound weird, but people didn't like that Fantastic Four. I thought it was okay. Yes, the Doctor Doom character was a little weird, but everything else, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I mean, it's its own thing. Which I saw, oh shit, I forgot the actor's name. Him and his wife, they want Emily Blunt, I believe is the name of his wife, and his name is John Krasinski. They want those two to be like Mr. Fantastic and the Invisible Woman. And I said, you know what? That'd be really cool. I see them possibly doing that. Okay, there you go. Get a guy to do fucking the Human Torch and let's go. Let's fucking, who's going to play Ben Grimm? Okay, get the Thing in there. Fuck it. Let's go. Yeah. I think now it's because it's in the hands of Disney. I know it's coming around, but
yeah,
I can't wait to see what they're going to do with the product. I mean, everybody was like, I enjoyed the old shit from Fantastic Four. I thought that was cool. I didn't give a shit. Like, you got the dude that's Captain America was the Human Torch. I thought he did okay.
I thought it was funny. He played two different characters in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I believe there was another DC character that he played that was part of a kind of a not known friend. Oh fuck, what was the name of that shit? Like the Losers or something like that. It was called the Losers.
Yeah. He was in the Losers. I forgot.
And if I'm not mistaken, that belongs to DC. If I'm not mistaken.
Yep, it is.
So it's like it's pretty cool to see all these individuals. Like right now, there's actually talks of Henry Cavill, which was still our current Superman, to possibly play the Captain Britain character from Marvel. And I think honestly, I think that's pretty cool.
I heard something about that.
I feel like go ahead, fuck yeah, there you go. I think Henry will carry that, and then he's already got the fucking accent, so
Yeah. I'm kind of disappointed because, like I said, he's the current Superman, but I'm kind of disappointed that he does want to end his career as Superman. He's been the best one yet.
I mean, the last time I heard him say something or I read something that they quoted him, he still wants to continue to do it if they got something.
But he doesn't want
Warner
to do
Brothers
it
is being an ass. Let's say that.
Yeah. They want him for more. Basically, they want him. They want Henry Cavill to be the Robert Downey Jr. of DC. They want him to play all the lead roles. They want him to go all the events. They want him to be that shining star. But Henry Cavill wants to do other things. He doesn't want to just do one movie. Yeah. He wants to do multiple movies. Robert Downey Jr. for years only did Marvel. I think he did a couple in between.
Which, when he deviated from Marvel, those films apparently didn't do so well. But hey, that's. At least he went and did another project. I mean, that's the same with Chris Evans. He's like, yeah, all right, I'm done with Cap. I'm gonna hold up the shield for a bit. I'm gonna go. I want to direct. Like he wants to direct. I think he already directed 2 projects. He was in something else. I think there was a movie with knives. It was called something Knives. It was like a thriller / the who did it, who killed the person kind of movie or whatever the fuck. Like he was in that. I like his little cameo, and I finally got to see Free Guy. Have you seen that one?
Yes, I saw
I
Free Guy.
enjoyed the hell out of the movie.
I thought it was decent.
See, that was one of those
good.
movies. I have a few that I've done where I just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna buy it," and then I'm just so thoroughly entertained, and I'm like, I am so happy I bought this. And to see Chris Evans pop up when the fucking cap shield popped up when he defended himself against the big guy, and he said, like, "What the shit?" I was like, "Now that is a cameo, motherfucker."
That is a cameo.
I enjoyed
that. Is a cameo.
That movie, fucking, that was. I really.
A lot of people said it was a corny movie. I'm like, it was a decent movie, but it's basically it's a movie based on what everybody's doing.
Yeah, exactly. So
nobody wants to understand. Like, what are you doing when you're playing? What's it called? Fortnite. What are you doing when you're playing Call of Duty? Which I play Call of Duty.
Right.
What are you doing when you're playing all those games? You're living in a fantasy world. You completely forget the fact that there's actually air outside on the other side of the door, and there's a life, and there's a sun, and sometimes there's a moon once a month. But like you forget, we actually have a world.
Like there's actually other human beings. Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
I work with one of these guys. I seriously work with one of the guys. All he does and talks about all day long. I mean, he's a grown ass man. He's talking about Fortnite. I'm like, oh my god, dude, you're killing me.
I can't.
I'm like, I tried to play Fortnite. My girlfriend's kid has it. I tried to play it. I wanted to shoot myself. I literally threw a grenade on the ground and stood on it so I could end it. I'm like, I'm done with this. He's like, you're going to kill me. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. I'm done.
That's funny.
I'm done.
That reminds me. I had a game called, I think it was the second iteration of a franchise called Army of Two. Have you ever heard of that one?
I do remember hearing about that. Yep.
Well, my buddy Brad and I we spanked the fuck out of that game. I mean, we did the hardest difficulties. We did all the little trophies. Like if you play the hardest difficulty without actually having to assist each other or whatever the fuck, we did it all. So at one point we started fucking around where we threw a grenade at this one part of just before a wall, then hauled ass and then see if we can make it over the wall when it blows up. And then we did it, and then all of a sudden our character is on an endless dive through the digital world of this game and kept falling and falling, and we're dying laughing. We're fucking dying laughing. It was like, yay, we broke the game. Yay!
It's over. Go, baby.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. That franchise was fun because that was when I first the third iteration was called the Devil's Cartel, and I was living in a hotel at the time because of reasons, and obviously I don't want to wake everybody up because it's not just me, unfortunately, and so I went and got the Turtle Beach P90 or the P11 headphones. I was like, all right, here we're gonna test drive, So I'm in a portion where like I'm surrounded in all directions by like Mexican cartels of the zone that I'm in for the story, and all of a sudden I hear in my fucking like at 5 o'clock I hear "Orale cabrón." I turn and a headshot, boom, blew his fucking head off, and I'm like, these headphones are fucking awesome. Wow. Like the accuracy of where that guy was standing for me to turn and pop him right in the head was fantastic. I was like, okay, I like the headphones. I'm good.
These ones don't do too bad. These actually do pretty good. Like I can pick up if somebody's behind me. Like, oh, I'm
right, exactly.
I'm not the hardcore gamer. I'd be like, I literally physically be like playing, watch TV, be like,
what the fuck? It's like, who that?
Oh, it's a game, and all of a sudden I'm dead. But like I said, most of my stuff. I don't play too many franchises because I got out of gaming when Xbox 360 was the thing, and when I moved back over here, I finally bought the Xbox, the whatever the X one before the one that just came out was.
The S1
I bought that.
Or something like that.
Xbox One, is that what it was before this one came out? I don't know what it is.
I think it was
anyway, I got the not the rounded, but the square box. Anyway, so I bought Call of Duty and I bought Grand Theft Auto because obviously I take my stress out on people.
Exactly.
Anyway, I'm not the kind of, oh my God, if I go outside the well, I might do this, but I'll just do it on a video game. Anyway, no, I played that and I got bored and I started playing Call of Duty. And then I started realizing Call of Duty is pulling me in more and more and more and more. So then I bought the new Call of Duty and then I play Warzone and I'm like,
I believe that's the effect it does have on people.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't think I played Call of Duty in probably like 3 months because I just don't play it as much. Like I do it when I want to, but it's not like, I gotta be there playing. I gotta have my Red Bull, my 5 cases of Red Bull next to me so I can play all night long. No, I don't do that. But I'm telling you, when I do play,
off and on with the Wolf. Like the only game I've played, and I still play. I haven't played it actually in a week because of reasons, but I'm not hardcore on it. People would think I'm hardcore. I was like, trust me, there's people who are hardcore about games. I play World of Warcraft at the most leisure of leisure and by myself. Yep. I don't fucking give a fuck about grouping up with people and doing a thing or whatever. Fuck that. Yeah, I'm by myself. I'm knocking out the story. I'm listening. I'm reading here. I'm reading there. Cool. All right. Turn it off. Go sit down, watch something maybe, and then pass out.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I fell asleep one day because I was waiting to join a room. And I just remember sitting on my couch and I remember putting my head back. And I saw the TV was back to the Xbox, or the Call of Duty main menu, and I'm like, oh, I got booted. Oh, whatever. Damn. Took the headphones off, go to bed. Exactly. I remember now back in the day when you didn't have to pay, like now they have seasons, and the season ends, you have to pay $20 to buy the pass and blah blah. Everybody does that nowadays. Right. But I remember when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 was out, I had like a list of people. We'd do the lag out so you could do the free for all between us all. Like we would hardcore go for hours. Wow. Like my daughter would be sleeping. I'm like, I know I need sleep, but now all of a sudden my friends are on, so I'd be like,
it's that time. It's game time.
Be at it. And as soon as my daughter started crying, I'm like, I'm like, I know I gotta be a dad now.
That was my time frame for playing my game because I would actually have it arranged. At the time, my wife would be in bed and I'd watch the kid, and then after he was in a good spot where he passes out, and then I'm definitely playing the game. And if he happens to wake up, I'll go take care of him, and then that was it.
Yep.
Like that was our little arrangement and shit, and it was fine. Yeah.
I had that weird little donut-shaped pillow that they bought for the babies. What it's called, the boppy or something like that. I just go back in my recliner. I'd lay it all the way back. I'd lay it on my lap, and she'd sit there with her bottle, and I'd wait for her to fall back asleep again.
Okay, there you go.
So I'm like, at 1 o'clock in the morning, we ain't doing anything else. We ain't
shit, there was times I'd wrap my son up like in a little tight burrito type thing going on, and she instantly out when I do that.
She wouldn't do that. I tried that. What's it called? I forget what they call that when you bundle them up like that. But no, she didn't. No, she's an MMA sleeper. MMA. She fights because when she was little, when she was about 4, maybe 5 years old, I'd put her in bed. She'd cry. She didn't want to go to bed by herself because her bedroom was in the front of the house. Mine was toward the back of the house. So she'd always right back up to my room. So I'd be like, all right, just whatever. King size bed. You got plenty of space. I'd wind up having like this much of my bed. Because every time I moved over, she's right up on me. And I remember one day, I don't know, it was like maybe 2, 3 in the morning. I had like maybe an hour and a half before I had to get up. She just her arm went, what? Smacked me right in the face. And I'm like,
damn.
And I'm like, what? And I wake up and she's like, turn this way. And like, she's like one of these sleepers is like her arms like this, legs in a different direction. And I got up, I let her on the bed, and I went to the couch. Yeah, I'm not going to get there. This ain't working.
So, and you know what? I don't want to get hit again.
And when she was only here for when she was that young, she was only here for 3 weeks every few months. So it's like I couldn't say no. Like I had to let her have that. So I let her sleep in my bed. I'd give her her blanket. I'd give her her stuffed animals.
There's always something
she'd lay there.
We just can't say.
And then, I can't say no. Like I only had her for a certain amount of time. Everybody knew for those 3 weeks I was off the grid. There was nothing going on. I don't care. I don't care if the party of the year was happening. I'm going to Disney or Busch Gardens
or whatever the case may be to keep that child entertained.
Exactly. That's what she loved. And I bought season passes to one, and I bought season passes to the other. Like one year I'd do one park, one day the other. And it's like that time was my time with her. Like I had to do what she wanted to do. I didn't care what I owned. I wouldn't play Xbox. I wouldn't do. I'd go to work, obviously, and then my dad would watch her. Yeah. And then as soon as I'm off work, we're off and out to the beach, or we're going to a movie or
which something. I noticed that like I'll see every single photograph, every single little video that you put up, and it warms my heart to see you hang out with your daughter like that every single time.
That kid,
because my experience of what I've been through, so it's like to see I'm like enjoying your life through you and your photographs and stuff like that, and seeing all these things happening, and it's to see the smiles on her face, it's just fucking priceless. It's a priceless fucking thing. It really is.
Yeah,
I mean, goddamn.
like
But it seems like time has flown. Like I saw her when she was next to you in one old photograph, and she's this little thing, and now it's like, look how big she is. I'm like, fuck.
bro,
How long has it been? It feels like yesterday she was that small. So
she's
like, how old is she
13.
now?
She's 13. She just turned 13 in
13.
January, and she's
Wow.
5'5".
Look at that. I mean,
She's
she's
massive,
growing.
but she's a twig. She literally has the
Yeah,
same body as her
I
mother.
noticed
It is
that.
a straight
Yeah.
line, which I'm fine with. So I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, because
But
there's less dudes you're gonna have to shoot later, or shoot
well,
at, or I don't know.
I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about dudes at all. I have to worry about the girls. So here's a fun
Oh,
story.
well,
Last
there's
summer,
that.
we're at Busch Gardens, and I take her to Busch Gardens every summer because that's what she loves. She loves the animals. She loves to go and see the giraffe. She loves to go see the tigers, all that whatnot. She
Right.
loves animal interaction. Like that's always been her thing. Dolphins have always been her favorite.
Did you
So we
do
go to
the
Disney.
thing with like the giraffe and feeding and everything?
Yeah, we did that. We did that
I
not
can't
last
wait
summer,
to
but the
try
summer
to do
before.
something like that. I would love
It
to
was
do
it was interesting. It came with the pass that we bought. You get a free the excursion. One of the excursions. They had like multiple animal excursions, but the giraffe ones you want to do where you feed them. But they couldn't do the photography thing because of COVID was happening at the time. We had to wear a mask and blah blah.
Oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so we did it. And I took photos. I gave her all the food they gave me. And I'm like, here, go ahead, feed it. Go ahead, feed it.
There you go.
So she had a good time. But last summer we're at Busch Gardens, and we're walking around. We're having a good time, and my girl and her kids want to go to the store. I'm like, all right, we'll go to the store. I'll go to the restroom real quick. I'll come back in. So I go to the store. I find my daughter. She's looking at the Pride table. Every store they have has a Pride table, and it's like hoodies, T-shirts, the beat it necklaces, head hats, everything with the Disney look, with the Disney logo, the Busch Gardens logo, but with the rainbow around it.
Oh,
And I
okay.
was like,
Okay.
I'm getting to the conversation. I'm like, you know what that means, right? She's like, yeah. I was like, cool. I'm glad you know what it means. So I'm like, it's nothing bad. It's like, Uncle Billy's like that. Uncle Billy is gay. And she's like, and out of nowhere, she's like, Dad, I'm bi.
Okay.
I'm like, you are? She's like, yeah. I was like, okay, cool. And I think at that moment, once like she acknowledged that I'm not going to be hateful for her, like,
Yeah, my brother
why
is
people-
too. Like my brother is
Yeah.
too, and I'm like, I don't give a shit.
yeah, I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, you are? And once I said, okay, cool. And then she immediately started crying.
Oh, really?
I'm like, what's
Aw.
wrong? And I guess her mom's not in. Her mom doesn't appreciate it. She tried to have a conversation with her mom about homosexuality, stuff like that. It did not go well. She goes to a private school, which is a Baptist school, which teaches against that.
Yeah,
And
we
I'm
were
like,
actually just talking about
so now
that.
she's hiding it, but she's out there to some people.
Right.
And I told her, I was like, kiddo, I'm like, you have to understand things. There are people out there who are going to tell you can't do something because of your age, but now that you know what this stuff is, you can understand it. This is the kind of route that you want to go. If you want to be with a guy, you want to be with a girl. It doesn't matter. But you have to be careful what you do because some people manipulate, your brain cells. Like obviously your school's going to teach you that you can't do that. But I'm like, that's not you. You have to live the life you want to live. You want to. That's why I always support you. I'm like, if you want to do the anime stuff, that's fine. I mean,
Actually,
I'm gonna step in.
just a little side note. I would love to invite you and your daughter over to Orlando MegaCon over in May 19th through the 22nd. No, I'm actually going to do a Professor Xavier cosplay again. But this time, I actually got a gentleman that's going to sell me an electric wheelchair with a 360-pound capacity. And I'm going to try to mimic, the old school animation of X-Men where Professor Xavier's got like the yellow hover chair thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to try to recreate that.
That's
So
badass.
it'll take me a bit, but the seat, it's only $120. He said the only problem it's got, the battery can only go up to like 3/4 of a charge or whatever like that. And I was like, I'll just buy a new fucking battery. Fuck it. So that's what I'm going to do for my brother's got his character already lined up. We just ordered all the stuff. I think the character's called Bailith or Byleth. I think it's Byleth from some Fire Emblem houses thing. And I'm like, cool. All right. That's what you want?
Talking about Beowulf?
No, Byleth. It's literally some other character from a type of video game anime thing that he plays. It's like Firehouse Emblems or something like that, I think it's called. So he's already got that lined up. It was like a wig. Here's the boots. Here's the outfit. We did the measurements so you can get a legit outfit. There's like a sword, but the sword is in pieces. Like somebody went and did the 3D printing of it. So
3D
we get
printing,
it.
you gotta attach it together.
We just gotta glue it together and then possibly do a nice paint job on it, and then there you go. You got a sword.
That's pretty badass.
So that'd be pretty cool if I mean, I don't know. You think she would?
She won't be. She won't be down here until probably the weekend before Father's Day.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's generally when she comes down because her mom wants to spend like a week or two with her.
Because that'd be pretty. I think that'd be an awesome opportunity for her to try to not only express herself, but then also hang out with peeps that possibly like the same thing, and she can have conversation, meet new friends or whatever.
She's wanted to do it forever. Her mom won't take her. And it's just, a matter of timing. Like, 'cause when she's down here, nothing's going on. Like, I've looked up. There was one. It was literally the weekend she was leaving.
Oh, shit.
I was like, well, I can't do it because on Saturday, I have to drive her up on Saturday. It starts Friday. And, I mean, we tried to get tickets, but it was already sold out Friday. So I was like, well, that sucks.
Right.
So I think it was the 10th Bay Comic Con. She just wanted to see what it was like.
I'm one of those people that once a child's a certain age, though, I think that's when things change, right? Possibly.
Yeah. Oh, she's going through that a lot right now. Like she's going through a lot of change.
I'm already. Let's just say for her sake, if you ever get that, I'll be very hopeful to see her right alongside you, hanging out with possibly me. I would love to hang out with you guys at MegaCon whenever that time comes. So I'm I can't look. I'm looking forward to that. Like I really want to hang out with you guys.
She would love to have somebody that has more knowledge about that stuff than I do.
Yeah, I know. Automatically, my brother and her will probably have a whole lot of shit to talk about.
Oh, dude!
And then I got my friend Amanda. I'm trying to drag her in there, and she's already yapping my ear about anime. And I'm like, well, there goes another one.
Oh, dude! So when she comes down here for the summer, she'll spend a weekend at her best friend Kylie's house, which is her daughter of friends of mine. They've been like best friends since they were like
that's the
4.
besties.
And but the funny part is, my buddy Scott is huge into this stuff.
Okay.
And I dropped her off one day for the weekend. She was going to go there for last summer. And I think Kylie was very upset because her dad and Brooke were talking more about the anime stuff than anything else. They wouldn't stop talking. He would bring down he has the statues. He's a collector of the figures, or whatever you want to call them. He's like showing her this and showing her that and showing her the comic books and then showing her all these events and then showing her photos.
And yet the daughter's over there like, Dad, but
well, me and
Kylie,
me and Kylie are sitting on the couch just like, and I'm talking with her mom and I'm like,
so this is what you got to deal with.
The three of us have no idea what's going on right now. Like we're very confused. And I'm like,
what are we looking at?
But I'm glad I have somebody that knows something about it because I sit there and I'm like, huh? What?
Yeah.
I
catch on vaguely, like, my brother will explain some things here and that, and I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. Have fun with that.
That's what I say. I'm like, listen, kid, that's something you like. I'm not going to stop you, but
exactly.
Don't.
Like there's times I'll approach him and ask a question, and he gets
I've had to do
excited,
that too.
I've
had to do that too.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there talking like, I think something popped up on Netflix. And then I was like, hey, there's a new thing on Netflix. I don't know if it's something you know what it is. She's like, what's it called? I was like, and I forgot for a quick second what I was looking at. I'm like, Demon Slayer. I'm like, yeah, that was it. I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out. You're coming at me with like a vengeance. So I'm like, Demon Slayer. I'm like, yeah. She's like, what's it on?
Oh.
Yeah. Well, it was on Hulu. And I was like, yeah, it's on there. And I opened it up and I'm like, man, I should have said something because it's part of the Hulu Plus or Hulu Premium. I'm like, I ain't paying all that extra money for that crap. And she's like, Dad, that's an awesome TV show. You have to watch it. I'm like, but I have like an attention span of a 5-year-old when it comes to watching stuff like that because I have no idea what's going on.
Especially with the whole subtitle thing. I'm not looking at
that's
action.
What kills me.
I can't look at action and read it. I can't.
Yeah, I don't.
It's one or the other.
Like back in the day, I could do both. Today, no, I can't.
I suck at that. I can read. I'm just fine at reading, yes. But then I missed out on the action because I'm busy. We're looking down reading.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Like, this is me when I'm watching this stuff. I'm like,
yeah. No, fuck that.
What I miss?
I'm sorry, fuck that. I can't do it.
She's like, Dad, you see that? I'm like, no, I was reading it.
Let me get the dubbed. Like, people like, oh, but nah. Give me the dubbed. Fuck it. Yeah. It's all right.
I'm just like, I at this point, I quit.
Like, there's only certain times.
That's yours.
The best part about the getting it dubbed is I get to hear the voices. There's actually a decent amount of voice actors I follow, and there are certain times I'm like, oh, that's gotta be so and so, and then it'll bother me if I don't look up to see if it was so and so, and then it's like, oh, that was Steve, and then in this one over here, oh, that's Tara. You know Tara, right? And my brother's like, I don't know who that is. I'm like, I'm the one that knows more about the people doing the voices though than he fucking does. So it's like, I'm very happy at this MegaCon. I am super fucking stoked. Kevin Conroy is gonna fucking be there. I'm like, that is my Batman.
Wow.
That man right there. I need to fucking say what's up to that man right there. Because God knows how old he is. I don't even know.
Spend the $120 and get the selfie.
Shit. So far, it looks like it'll be 120. Yeah, I think it is 120. No.
I just know.
Bullshit. Actually, it's going to be less than that for him. Because there's also Kevin Smith that I'm interested in. I wouldn't mind meeting Kevin Smith. So I was like, "Hey, the Kevins."
I looked up. There was one coming. I think it was Tampa Comic Con, and I saw the names coming, and I saw the prices, and I was like,
"Yeah, some of the prices are."
I gotta take a mortgage out just to attend this event.
I'm just happy that I mean it's only $99 if you buy it ahead of time for all 4 days.
Oh yeah, that's $100 there, but then you got to pay more money to just talk to people. I'm like,
yeah,
that's like
Joey from work managed to have an interaction with Bob Saget before the passing.
I saw that.
Like, wow.
I saw that. Dude,
and I told Joey the other day, I was like, do you realize you're one of the few last individuals that had an interaction with this man before his passing? Like, you know what that is? And I got to see him. Like, I saw him. I saw him and the other two gentlemen from Full House. They were there. Like, I saw them.
Yeah.
I saw Ron Perlman and shit like that. So I'm like looking at it, I'm like, fuck me, that's the last time I'd ever get to see Bob Saget, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I never got a chance to see him. I knew he was in Orlando. I didn't have the time and the money to go see his show, and I was like, so bummed. And then I wake up the next morning to the news, and I'm like,
because his stand-up is so good, and to think that he was going to be here, because I think he was in a hotel here in Orlando, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he had already done a show that night, and he was supposed to have like another show or two in town or around the area that same time.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, when I was looking into it, he had just did Jacksonville, and then came down, and then it was gonna get.
Or maybe that was
ready.
Maybe that was misunderstanding.
Yeah, the layout.
Yeah, it was either he was a show here going away or going away and coming here or something like that. But
it sucks. I was like, oh my god, hard. Man, that sucked. Ass.
I remember watching him as being Danny Tanner. I'm like, oh man, that sucks.
I remember that, and then I remember the whole America's Funniest Home Videos and shit, and all the corny jokes he would try to throw out for that. Like his clean jokes, some of them kind of landed with me. Most of them, I'm like, oh my god. But his real material when it comes to stand up, like he's a dirty bastard.
Dude. The one they got on Netflix right now, I fucking love.
He is fucking great. I laugh my fuck. I'm crying. I'm laughing so hard. Some of his shit that he says.
Yeah.
I'm like, this man's just fantastic. But yeah, it's
that man was a funny bone. I suck dick for coke. I was like, what? Oh my god.
Actually, he did that in a film, right? Was that in a film?
It was in with he was in there with
shit, what was
that? Half Baked. No, it wasn't Half Baked.
Was it Half Baked? I think no.
I think it might have been Half Baked. It was with Dave Chappelle.
I think it was Half Baked.
It was that big.
Yeah, because it was like one of those like gatherings, and he was just one of the people sitting out there, and he just jumps up and says.
I think he was in the court, or he was in a court or in a meeting. It was somewhere.
I think it was like a meeting, right? It was like a meeting. Yeah. Oh, that part fucking killed me when that shit happened. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh my god. I mean, that movie in general had parts. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
Matt, you know what's funny is I talked about that movie last night because there was somebody in my break room. They said, "That's awesome, man." I was like, you remind me of the guy from Half Baked. She's like, huh? What movie's that? I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, what was his name?
I pulled up the clip and I said, I'm like, you're awesome, man. Yeah, man. I was like, you remind me of like what you just said. This.
I like that
she's
comic too. That guy's funny.
She's like, I've never seen that movie. I'm like, you're as old as me, and you've never seen that movie? Get the fuck out.
Oh, Jim Brewer, that's his name, Jim Brewer.
Yeah,
he's one of the few that actually does have a decent, clean stand up, and it's funny as shit. I mean,
I don't think I've ever seen his clean stand up.
Yeah, if you ever get a chance, try to pull up a few of his. I mean, his last one that I know where he's talking about his children and shit like that really had me going because since like here I am with my child and then some of the shit he said and it just fucking killed me because I'm like, I know, right? Exactly.
Yeah, man.
You gotta love that shit that relate you. Yeah, man. Yeah, that fucking character. Fuck you, fuck you. I'm out. You're cool.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Half baked. That fucking Dave Chappelle is a funny bastard too.
I thought they were gonna do like I think Dave Chappelle. He was gonna do like some like a extension or a spinoff or something of that movie like a while back, but I think it just kind of.
All I know is that last special he did was great, and fuck everybody talking shit about it because there were people. The best part that made me laugh was there was a particular individual named George Takei, I think is how you say his name.
Yep, George Takei.
Was talking shit about it, and then people from his community, if the way I can say it, were coming against him like, you didn't even see the fucking thing, you dumbass. Like, he was getting hate from his own peeps. And I'm like, see, that's what you get for fucking opening your mouth about shit. And then,
because
like, I saw the whole thing, and I understand what Dave Chappelle was saying about the story and everything like that. So I understood when someone did talk shit, you could pick out that person didn't see the fucking special. Yeah. Plain and simple.
They took the audio like segments here and there, and they stitched them together, and they said all this hateful shit.
No,
I'm like, why don't you watch the whole entire thing? He actually talks about how he talks about the trans was a guy becoming a girl. What I don't remember.
Yes,
he made the name. Mm-hmm. He gave her a chance, and she sucked on stage. And then backstage, she had all the comedians in the whole entire room just losing it. Like she was more comfortable around a smaller group than she was a big group.
Yeah.
And then the fact that she was there and part of Dave Chappelle, she got the hate. And then wound up killing herself because of what she was doing.
It was one of those things like her own people caused her
own people hate.
Want to do that. And it's like, that's part of the story. He's letting you know, it's like, y'all are fucked up. Y'all try to act all inclusive and shit. And then here's someone that you should include and you should have this love that you supposedly praise. But no, you shunned this person out. You talk shit. And now the person's not alive because of you. Yet the shit they're going to talk, he's transphobic or whatever. No, you're a bunch of fucking dumbasses. Like, I was actually just having that conversation with my brother, now that I think about it. Because he was talking about how when we were discussing certain things and I pointed out certain things, he's like, you're right, because there's a lot of people that are just straight gay that are against me. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, it's something about, like, they don't like a bisexual. And I'm like, are you serious? And I'm like, there goes another example. They try to claim that they're inclusive, but they don't like you. What the fuck is that? Like that's not
like
cool.
That's like my friend Billy. Like he works for Disney and he's openly gay. He never denied he's been gay for years, but he's very flamboyant Lady Gaga gay.
Oh, okay.
Like
he's got
level. He wears a big bow tie. He wears sequins. He wears all this, and I'm like, dude, whatever. That's you. That's how you do. But he actually gets hated on by other gay people because they're conservative gay, and then there's flamboyant gay, or then somebody was trying to explain to me like there's like different levels of gay. I'm like,
which there are, but still, why you gotta be hating?
Yeah, but last time I checked, gay is gay.
Yeah,
I mean, you're into the same sex. Like it's fine, do your thing. If you want to be in the same sex,
more power to you. There you go.
Because somebody acts a little different in that community, who cares?
Yeah.
But yet people have to think, oh well, that's like. I don't know.
I mean, I've told people for the most part, that's a human problem. We humans have a tendency where there's things we don't like, and then there's things we do, and we're picky as fuck. Like we were talking about religion too. Like they want to say God is all loving, and I know, I completely agree. I'm sure God is a very loving being, right? But how are you going to sit there as a human being and tell me that he doesn't like gays and shit? Oh, he's going to actually be... No. If God is almighty and all-loving like he is, he loves everyone. That means the problem is you, this human element right before me, talking trash on behalf
That's
of
it.
God. Like if you need to be talking on behalf of God. You,
No, I
my
agree.
friend, I'm sorry, but you can go fuck yourself. That's how I am.
always-
Like I have no problem with religion. I have the problem with the people of the religions.
That's what I always
The
try to
same
tell people.
goes with
Listen,
all these groups and stuff.
I always tell people, I'm like, when you go to church, it's the same thing as watching the news because you're listening to somebody else's opinion on something else
Right.
that's going on.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I held this up, but like the Bible. I'm like, you hold the Bible up,
Yeah.
and then you got millions of different people that are giving their opinion on how
interpretation
on
and
what
shit,
their interpretation.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's all that is an opinion. I'm like, if
Exactly.
you want to know anything about this, pick it up and read it. Again, I'm holding my phone. Anyway,
Right. No, you're right, though. Yeah.
I'm like, don't sit there and listen to somebody else's interpretation because their interpretation is going to be lost.
Exactly.
Because I grew up in the church. You know, I'm not big in the church nowadays like I used to be, but I grew up in the church, and there's like 20 to 50 to 100 different versions of the Bible.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
When it's written in different languages, and interpretation is lost over time.
Oh yeah.
What's that one game you say a word, you pass down the line, and all of a sudden it changes whatever down the line? That's basically what it is. Over the thousands of years the Bible's been around. Over the thousands of years, I'm like, then over time, like, you have hate groups who have destroyed one version of the Bible. Again, I don't want to hold my phone.
I mean, it's one of those things when you even look back to the very beginning, you really think they translated that shit the right way right off the back?
They didn't.
No.
They didn't. No.
And that's why I always tell, the main thing I said, the human element is there, and it had ruined it from probably its original state. Period.
Yep.
It is not the way it's supposed to. Now, don't get me wrong. The fundamentals of the religion are there. They're still there. I understand it. I comprehend it. Like my brother, he's like, he may be bi, but him and his relationship with God is very strong. He has that faith and he loves God. And I'm like, there you go. Yeah. But then people were trying to say that that's wrong just because he's bi. That's not right. I'm like, no. You don't get to fucking dictate that. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that I'm cussing, but it's another thing. Like, if God didn't want us to have the F word, he wouldn't have had us made it. But that's the case. Is like, don't talk on behalf of God as if you know what the hell. You don't.
Yeah, it's like, don't talk to me like you just had a conversation with him not 2 minutes ago. Everybody's like, oh, I spoke with him this morning. I'm like, no, you didn't pick up the phone. You didn't say, hey, God, can I do this?
Yeah.
You have this thing inside your head. It's called a conscience. It's talking to you thinking it's God's voice. It's not. I'm like, don't sit there and try and tell me. Everybody's like, oh, I picked up the Bible. I read this verse. Again, I don't know why I hold my phone up. They're like, oh, I read this verse and it spoke to me. I'm like, that's called reading.
Yeah.
It didn't speak to you. It's just called reading. I'm like, I've read the Bible too, and none of that's ever reached out to me like that. Like, I understand where some of that stuff is coming from in that time, but today it doesn't.
There's a lot of things too that I'm like, I don't dig it. Like, somebody was trying to say that you're not allowed to dance, and I'm like, where does God give a damn if we dance?
It literally says in the Bible to give joy and dance.
Yeah, and then there was like, what is it with apparently someone stating that a woman cannot wear pants? She only is allowed to wear skirts. And I'm like, where did that come from? And
pants
I'm like,
weren't a thing back then.
Yeah, I mean,
guys wore gowns.
Yeah, and that's like all these other religions. There are always things that people are selective about, like the Quran with people in the Middle East and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like it's a human problem, and that's one of the things I always come back to is that humans have a problem with acknowledging that they are the problem. Like, there's plenty of times I'll go, my bad, and I fix myself because I like to better myself. That's who I am, and that's how I am as an individual. Other people, they always externally put blame on either another person or even an inanimate object. Like, we were just talking to somebody, and I'm like, so you're putting blame on the dollar bill, right? Okay, I put a dollar bill on the fucking table. Tell me what that thing is going to do right now. Let's just stand back and look at it. And the same, I did it the same way with weapons. I said, okay, you guys are saying guns kill people. All right, I'm going to put this gun on the table. Let's stare at it and see who it kills.
Yep.
No, it's the fucking person, you stupid ass. Like, I get upset. Like, people are the problem.
I had people tell me
that. That shit.
I had people like, I actually have a shirt in the back, and I wrote it one day on a bike. It says, daughters against dads dating, and on the bottom it says, shoot the first, the rest will learn. Now everybody's like, oh, well, that means you're a murderer. Like, no, that just states the fact that if you hurt my daughter, I may be one, but I don't know. But the fact is, if I have a gun and it's in my center console, who's it hurting?
It's not.
I have to physically pick it up, load the chamber, and fire at somebody and pull the trigger.
Right. Exactly.
Tell me who is hurting if it's sitting right here.
Right.
This is more for my protection because there's people who bought one illegally or got it from some kind of black market sale or bought it.
That's a whole nother conversation there about these supposed laws, and they're trying
Dude,
to
you can buy guns.
Second Amendment or whatever.
You can buy guns at an estate sale. And the messed up part about going to an estate sale where somebody sells guns, they don't do any background checks. You literally say, "I got $500. Can I have that gun?" And they'll say, "Yeah, here you go." Because you want to know why?
It's one of those things that people find a will. Well, there's a will, there's a way too. Like
the reason why they go to a estate sale to buy a weapon is because technically, if you sell a weapon, you have to sign a piece. I have people sign a form that says, "Hey, I'm releasing this weapon to you. I want you to sign it. That way, if anything happens with this one gun down the line, we have a legal document, and you can buy this."
Right, it's got the serial number and everything on it. Right.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It's not registering the weapon. It's just stating the fact that I am now releasing this weapon to your property. Going forth, anything that happens with this gun, if it's involved in a crime, it does not come back on me.
Exactly.
Right. I have a buddy of mine who is big into gun. He was on that gun TV for a while. He lives down in Safety Harbor. He explained all this to me because we had did a rifle raffle a couple years ago, and the gun was in my possession. I took a picture of the guy's ID. I had him sign the legal documents that I got from the sheriff's office that stated if anything happens to this gun while it's in your possession, I am not going to take claim. You're stating when you sign this fact that you have no felony, that you have no record, you have nothing against you that says you cannot own a firearm. Right. If you sign this and you do something with that weapon, you go to prison. And now I'll get in trouble saying I didn't check the guy's background. I'm not paying $100 to check the guy's background. But I can take it to the sheriff's office and say, hey, here's the form, here's his signature, here's a picture of his ID.
Exactly.
There you go. So, but anyway, the point is, people are always like, oh, the guns kill people, guns kill people. I'm like, no, you have to actually have a mental disability to pick up a gun. And that's why I said people go to places like estate sales where they know the person that died can't sign anything over. And the person that's selling it at the estate sale has no legal tender to the gun. So, God forbid, like I said, God forbid, it's not going to happen. My girlfriend's father has like 5, well, he has a lot of safes, put it that way. If anything ever happened to him, now, mind you, the guns are going to be split up among the kids. He's got big safes. They're going to be divided up between the kids. But if it was an estate sale, and obviously it's all of his guns are in his name when he buys them. If we weren't selling it, or if somebody else, a third party, was coming in to selling it, then they don't have any legal tender to that gun. So if they sell it, walk away. Right. And then that person that now buys the gun is the one now going to be, they don't have any, because you have to go through a background check when you buy any weapon.
Exactly. Right.
You have to make sure, like, if you have a felony warrant, or if you have a warrant, if you've been Baker acted, you can't buy a weapon. Right. It's not going to happen. But this is the loophole.
See, that's the one loophole that I was wondering if something like that happened. Like, I haven't had a chance to ask nor look up any information. Like the one that somebody was trying to say that you can go like a state fair thing, like a gun show, and actually get one. But they apparently you actually have people that are like, no, we got to do.
No, there are people there that will not sell a gun if they do not do a background check. And actually, now they won't allow anybody. They'll actually ask you, "Are you going to do a background check?" And they'll say no. They'll say, "Fine, you're not going to sell your weapons here."
Exactly.
So because the fairgrounds are not going to be held reliable if anything happens.
Exactly.
So if I go to state fairground and I have a felony and I say, "Hey, I want to buy this gun," the person doesn't do a background check. Well, not only does that person fall under the umbrella of guilt, but so does the fairgrounds, because they're the one that let this person come in and sell their weapons without their background checks. Now,
whatever blood that maybe have spilt is on their hands.
It's going to be on them. Right. So then if anything happens, when lawsuits start happening, like wrongful death, then you've got the person that sold it, the person who allowed to be sold in their property, along with the person who did the firing. So I don't know all the laws. I just know the basics, places where not to carry, places where you can carry, things you can do, how to carry the three, how to hide it in your weapon, how to conceal it on your person, the laws you have to carry a permit. But when it comes in the more detailed stuff, more the red tape, I guess you would say, I don't know all of it. But
I've seen certain videos that were pretty interesting that I wasn't aware of. Like, there was a guy with an AK. He was open carrying, where it was visible. But it's like when you go out for hunting and fishing, there's a law that you're allowed to do that. And he was just returning to his vehicle, and the cops are trying to give him some bull. But he was like, look, I know the law, dude. That's why I have it, because I protect myself. Unfortunately, I got to park here to then go all the way over there for fishing and stuff. But I am allowed to carry because I'm in the process of doing this under the law of the state. Because I know every state's different. That's another thing. Two states are the same, But
Well,
I believe
Texas is
this
big one
gentleman
now.
was in Florida, so this was like a Florida-based thing.
Well, I know there was a video going around for a while of a guy walking around his neighborhood with an AR strapped to his back. Like he had literally around his back. But they passed a law, open carry.
Right.
And then neighbors called the police. Police got involved. He's like, am I committing a crime? And it was a whole spiel. He wound up being right. He's like, I'm not committing a crime. I'm giving my rights. I'm carrying my weapon out.
If that's the one I think it
around.
is, it's him intentionally doing it.
Yeah, he's doing it intentionally. See if he can get,
just to point out,
to
like, look,
rise.
here's all these asswipes that are gonna talk shit, you know. And I was like, I see what he's doing. Don't get me wrong; it's not like I 100% agree with it, but at the same time, it does show like if you're allowed to do something, but there's people that don't want you to do it because they don't want you to do it
because they don't feel safe.
Yeah.
which I understand. At the same time, but that's not something I'm going to do. I'm not going to sit there and walk around. And, if they allow us to carry our AR-15s around our shoulders right here in the state of Florida, I'm not going to walk around my neighborhood. Why would I do that?
Right.
That's stupid. I can understand somebody wants to prove
doing
their
it for
point,
shits and giggles.
but at the same time, you're scaring the shit of all your neighbors, which I'm not going to try and do that. I want my neighbors to know, hey, I'm a responsible gun owner. If anything happens, they can call me. Now it's like, this guy owns a gun. Let's not call him. He may be one of the ones that's going to try to shoot himself. Something stupid.
That's the unfortunate there. Especially the way certain. Well, you just shoot him in the leg, you know.
Well, I gotta wrap this up here in about 10 minutes because I gotta start getting ready for work.
All right, man. Oh fuck, man. We knocked out 2 hours, man. We're 2 hours and 1 minute here. That's cool, man. I'm very happy that I got a chance to at least do something with you. You know, like I said, I know there's going to be a repeat. Like I would love to sit down and chat about whatever the hell else, because that's another thing. Like I had a few people that were asking, like, how does this work? How am I structuring the podcast or whatever? And it's like I'm putting it more in like. Right now, I got you or driving the car, like, you know, that kind of situation. In whatever direction you want to put it. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I was sitting there, I think I've asked you, like, would you like to talk about this and this and that? And you were like, yeah, but it's like, I'm not going to push it. I'm going to let you go to it when you feel like going to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. And I'm definitely down to keep doing this again. Oh, I'm out of picture because I'm trying to, something just fell over here.
Oh, something fell over? Oh,
yeah, shit. I have the black American flag here on my bar, and I had the one corner just kind of like slipped off.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, I'm in my garage right now where the humidity's starting to build up, and I gotta fix it. There we go.
But yeah, I mean, if there is ever a day that you're actually near me and you want to swing by, you're more than welcome to. I'm an open door for you, brother. Like if ever.
Hell yeah, bro. I'm definitely want to get out there eventually soon. Yeah. Like I got to bring my bike out there. Right now, she's still in the garage. I would love to
see the bike, bro. I saw that one video. I thought it was cool as fuck. Like, you're riding, you got the fucking cigar in the hand and shit while you're riding, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. There it is. There she is. That's so pretty.
And I got my, you see the little the helmet cover there?
The fucking helmet does look funny.
Bro, I get, like, thumbs up from the cops all the time, because, turn this around.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh, it did. They're back.
Oh, you had it. There we go.
There it is. Okay. Anyway, that's the flag I was talking about.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I get a lot of compliments from the cops. I pulled the one cop and I was at the light. He looked over at me, rolled down his window. He's about to say something. I couldn't hear him because I have a speaker in my helmet and I'm listening to music. And I turned down real quick and said, "Hey, license registration. Do you know why I pulled you over today?" He's like, "Ha ha ha." I'm like, "You have a good day, sir." They get a kick out of it. I had one cop want to take a photo of me. He literally pulled up next to me at the light in the turning lane, and he's like, he did this number with the cell phone. He pulled the toward away from him, so he get a picture with me in the photo. I'm like,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's the one thing that I've been fortunate of. I've had really good relationships and interactions with law enforcement. Like I've never had a bad interaction or anything like that. And that's the thing. And that's even considering when I did something that I wasn't supposed to. Obviously, like speeding.
I had one bad interaction up in Gainesville, which I think was retarded.
Very unfortunate. Okay.
Well, I was up there in 301 where they have all the speed trap ahead. I was like, it was 35 going into 45 going into 55, and I was in the 45 section speeding up to the 55 section, and he pulled me over. He's like, "Oh, you were doing 52 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour zone." I'm like, I just passed the 55 mile an hour sign. Like I wasn't even going faster. He's like, "Oh, but you're still in that zone." I'm like, "Okay, so you're a petty cop. I get it."
There are those few. There's those few.
Yeah, there's always going to be
That's like that saying about the few bad apples. I mean, it's legit.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's always a few.
That's why I can't 100%. You know, when people say, "Oh, back to blue," I was like, "Look, I only back to blue to a certain extent because the individuals that have respect to the badge, those are the ones I support."
Those are the ones I back.
And that's it.
Like I've got a shirt that says "Back to Blue" that I bought from Ground Style, and literally on the back says "Back to Blue." And I have a lot of cops that drive by me, give me the thumbs up, keep on going.
Right.
And but there's always gonna be bad apples.
Yeah, like I
Bad
got a
humans,
neighbor. He
bad
just
cops.
recently became sheriff for the Osceola County. Like I'm
Mhm.
very happy for him because I remember I don't know him that much, so I didn't know what it takes to become a cop. And in this case,
Yeah.
I had a sheriff knock on the door. She came up. She wanted to, hey, do you know your neighbor? I'm like, honestly, I'm sorry, I really don't. And what it was, they were going around asking like, hey, how is he? Is he cool or whatever? What do you know? And I was like, I would tell you, but I don't know. I haven't really spoken to the guy. Like, I don't know. He seems cool. He's got a great family over there. He keeps his area clean and stuff like that. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, he's not loud or anything. He seems like a
Yeah.
great guy.
Yeah.
So then
I've
later,
got a
bam,
few.
I see the
Matter of fact-
cruiser there. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've got one in my cigar shop. He's like, he hangs out all the time. He talks bad stories. He's like, oh, I've got to deal with these assholes. I got to deal with these people, and sometimes I got to be a dick because they're at, being a dick bag
Sometimes,
and blah blah.
unfortunately.
I'm like, yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
yeah.
There are those individuals that you got to be a little stern with because they're not.
Yeah.
You're trying to be cool with them, but they can't. They're like, I don't know. There are people like that. But then the whole that's another rabbit hole, victimization. It's like, I'm a victim.
We gotta
You're
make
being a
list
dick.
We got to make a list of topics to talk about.
Oh, you're more than welcome to do whatever you want. Like I said, this podcast is more of I'm not going to initiate. I mean, I might have a question or two of something you happen to be talking about, but it's up to you where you want to take it. Like whatever. And I don't give a shit if you keep it on track or not. We could jump the track and then get back on the track. I don't give a shit. I'm
both.
just chilling because that's literally what it is. I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling with
We'll have to
it.
plan a time. We'll have to plan again here pretty soon.
Yeah.
Maybe the next week or so, or whenever your schedule's free. Because I'm back to my regular schedule. Going in at 2:30. Leaving at like midnight.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
for the
we'll
most
definitely
part,
plan
we're
something.
aim for the morning kind of thing.
Yeah, we could do something. I mean, I know you messaged me. I overslept and I messaged you back and you fell
Yeah,
asleep.
and
So
then I
we're
fell
playing.
asleep, yeah.
We're playing that tag back and forth. So
Yeah.
maybe it would also help if I don't set my alarm for 8 p.m. when I had it set for 8 a.m.
It
So
happens to the best of us because I've done it
Yeah.
too.
my other alarm went off that I had set for. I'm like, oh shit. And then I saw your message. I'm like, oh shit. So,
But that's cool. At least we got something. Hey,
Yeah, bro.
I'm just happy, bro, that we got something. I'm glad it went as far as 2 hours. I mean, I was
Hell yeah,
expecting
bro.
maybe just a couple of minutes or something, but
honestly,
Hey,
I feel like
we got
if
it.
I didn't have to go to work, we'd probably be on it for like another 2 or 3 hours, probably.
hey, if you want to plan it for something like that later on, I'm more than welcome to sit down and have you yap my ear for whatever the hell you want to yap my ear about.
Let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
All right.
I know next week's
so
gonna be a
you're
little
gonna head
crazy
on
because
out.
I'm
So
flying
what
out
is
of
it?
town
You're
on
gonna get
Thursday.
ready for
So
work now? Is that what it is?
yeah, I got to take a shower, do all that fun stuff, and get ready for work.
Yay. All right, man. Well, much love to you. And much love to you, everybody around.
Back at you,
especially
bro.
All the photographs. It seems, I just love all the love I see from your Facebook. So I'm just happy that I can somehow be a part of it in a way.
Yeah, bro.
Because I know
Yeah.
you and I know how this is so important to you, and I'm just glad you're blessed the way you are right now, man. I really am.
You too, man. I see things taking off for you, especially with this new podcast you got going on.
Yeah.
So,
Hopefully it does shoot off, man.
when you start getting to that point where you're on like XM radio, you still got to keep me in the loop here.
Oh, I definitely gotta keep you in the loop. Honestly, I have no idea if I would ever do something like that, like, because I've seen what's been going on with Joe Rogan and stuff like that. It's like, honestly, I think I'll just tend to myself. I really.
I think
don't want anything
think
above me.
Joe Rogan. That's another rabbit hole we can go down for. I
That's
think it's
another
Joe
one.
Rogan. I think he's doing something, but he went on the other side of the fence thinking he wouldn't get caught, and then he got zapped on the way back.
But then again, I look at a person that he's still his own boss, and people just don't like the idea that, in all honesty, he has more followers than all these media conglomerates combined, if you ask me.
It does.
So
It
I
does.
think they're just a little bit of hate from them, just on that. If you
That's
ask me.
because they don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear the fluffy kittens.
Well, the part
and-
that sucks,
and
like
the
I
sweet
pointed it
sounds.
out, they're trying to aim it at Joe. It's like Joe just invited a doctor that it's the top of his class. He's the one saying it, not Joe. Joe's just sitting there asking questions and taking in the information that this professional is telling him. It's not Joe. It's y'all attacking Joe like he's the one fucking saying shit.
Yeah.
It's like, no. Joe's the main one to tell you. I don't know shit. I just want this guy to tell me shit. I'm just interested in
much.
the shit. Like I'm sitting
Well,
here interested in everything you were telling me about your cigars. Like I'm not a cigar smoker, but it's very intriguing. I mean, I didn't know there was a place nearby that would make the one that you were smoking and stuff like that. That's really cool. And then
bro,
hopefully
you
somebody
got a
sees
few
this
over there by you.
podcast, and if they're not aware of it, now they are. So that's another reason I like this. You know.
Well, the Orlando area's got Corona cigars. You got like 3 locations. You got one downtown, one by Universal Studios, and you got another one I think opened up in Lake Mary area.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I mean that's a great place to get some cigars, dude. And
There you go.
fun there. But
Well, all right, brother.
all right,
Like I said, much love to you, and hopefully we
back
can
at you,
go
brother.
again.
Yeah, man. We'll get in touch and we'll figure out some time and we'll try not to play tag.
Write up the list, however you want to play it.
Yeah, man. All right, brother.
Later.